What's up? What's happening? What's happening? We in here. We in here. We in here. What's happening? What's cracking? What's happening? Mm. Mm. I'm ready. Shout out to S Freak, man. S Freak in the building. He said, let's make this a great show. Oh man. Let's make this a great show. Yeah, man. Mm. Yeah, man. Let's make it a great show. 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 Oh wow. A lot going on. Salute to everybody out there, man. Salute to S Freak, man. Everybody hit that like button, man. Smash that like button, man. Smash that like button.
Today, we are learning more about a shooting in the Crosby Barrett Station area that left multiple people shot and one person dead.
Now, this shooting happened at the corner of Crosby Lynchburg Road at Swift gas station. Fox 26's reporter Leslie Dellisfor live in the area after speaking with a witness. Leslie.
Yeah, that's right. A witness that I spoke with says he frequents this Swift gas station just behind me here. And he says Saturday night, this small parking lot was packed. Take a listen.
They don't have that many people there. So I didn't go. I went to the other store. And when I went to the other store, which is across the street over here, and I get my beer and I go back a little further down, and I stand down there drinking my.
Nigga, what? The fuck is you talking about, nigga?
Night, this small parking lot was packed. Take a listen.
They don't have that many people there, so I didn't go. I went to the other store, and when I went to the other store, which is across the street over here, and I get my beer and I go back a little further down, and I stand down there drinking my beer, and I hear some pop, 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 pop.
Saturday evening around 10, Harris County Sheriff's deputies responded to a shooting at what was initially described as a parking lot takeover. 5 males and 2 females from ages 16 to 25 were shot. 2 were taken to the hospital by Lifeline and others by ambulance. 1 person died at the hospital and another was sent to a different facility because their condition worsened. Crosby ISD says as far as they are aware, none of the victims are students within the district. During the investigation, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said that the gathering turned out to be a benefit and the people were just hanging out, which is common in this area.
We're told that the community comes out here and they're normally out here gathering in some of these area stores, but it's typically nothing violent.
We also reached out to Harris County Precinct 3 constables who patrol this area. They tell us in a statement, quote, "The Precinct 3 Constable's Office takes public safety seriously and has increased our patrols and proactive law enforcement activities in the area. We will continue to partner with the Sheriff's Office to address criminal activity throughout the precinct." End quote. But Joseph Jacobs says he's been here over 20 years and he has never seen anything in this area like what he saw Saturday night.
Bunch of kids, they don't usually be there. I just felt it was uncomfortable.
Now, the Harris County Sheriff's Office says this investigation is ongoing, and if you have any information or video evidence, you are urged to call their office. Reporting from Barrett Station near Crosby, Leslie Delaspore, Fox 26 News.
On tonight's Breaking Bond, a 61-year-old man with
Today, a Harris County jury handed down a death sentence in what prosecutors call a massacre. The capital murder case of Xavier Davis finally came to a close since its start in 2021.
And we were the only station inside of the courtroom today to see the guilty verdict come down and the sentencing. Our Abigail Dye brings us the story from the courthouse.
For 24 days, jurors have walked down this hall in the Harris County Courthouse into the ceremonial court where they heard testimony in the Xavier Davis capital murder case.
He was holding a gun up to Harmony Carhe's head as she sat there cowered down.
The testimony, intense. In 2021, Xavier Davis killed 29-year-old Danyavia Lagway, 35-year-old Gregory Carhe, and their 6-year-old daughter, Harmony Carhe. And their Fondren rode home while the couple's other 10-year-old daughter watched. She was also shot and played dead while shielding her 1-year-old brother.
No matter how angry we are with that person, we don't execute people who are mentally disabled. The eighth
Well, he's not mentally disabled, man. This dude's not mentally disabled. This dude don't have a prefrontal cortex, man. This dude don't have a prefrontal cortex, man. He's not mentally disabled. He's not mentally disabled at all. He doesn't have a prefrontal cortex. When you don't have a prefrontal cortex, it can it kind of like mimics mentally ill, being mentally ill. These niggas ain't mentally ill. This nigga probably the life of the party. He probably the man and shit. He probably make plans and go places and and what they call fuck bitches and you know what I'm saying, get money and all that shit they talk about. He probably do all of that stuff. And then when they crash out, it's, oh, I'm mentally ill. Nah, you're not mentally ill. You just don't have a prefrontal cortex, man. None of these niggas. I don't buy mentally ill with no niggas, man. I don't buy mentally ill. I could put it like this. I could see like niggas could be shell shocked. I could see niggas being shell shocked from living in Blackistan. Or niggas just traumatized from living in Blackistan. But as far as like that real mental illness, I think that's very rare with some men. I think some men are just don't have a prefrontal cortex. If you don't have that, it's gonna make it like, it's gonna be like, damn, why you do that? I don't know. And the lawyer said we don't execute people who are mentally ill.
Her 1-year-old brother.
No matter how angry we are with that person, we don't execute people who are mentally disabled. The 8th Amendment of the United States Constitution says we don't enforce cruel and unusual punishment.
Jury selection began in February, and on March 24th, Davis
pleaded. John Cena, man. Judge John Cena, man. Look at Judge John Cena, man. Wow. That son, man, he better not charge the pulpit, man. That son, man, better behave, man. In this courtroom. I'm gonna tell you one more time, son, man. You better behave in my courtroom. Salute to Nick Kaladi. He says, fuck a beat. I was trying to beat the case, but I ain't beat their case, bitch. I did the race. Free TK from this life. Let's toss him over the edge of the flat planet or launch him into space. You know, we won't get into TK. You know, we won't talk about it because it's a lot of interesting things about TK that people got to come to grips soon with the Carmelo Anthony case too. It's a lot of similarities.
March 24th, Davis pleaded guilty to 3 counts of capital murder, moving the trial into the punishment phase.
All for money. This was about greed. There was nothing more to it. This defendant was selfish. He was greedy. He wanted what wasn't his, and he was willing to kill for it.
The jury deliberated for over 4 hours, and here in this courtroom is where they sentenced Davis to death.
My family and I have to deal with this deep emotion and scars and the rest of our life, the nightmare inflicted at the hands of you, Xavier Davis.
The victim's family still reeling outside the courtroom.
So what year is this? Year 2025. So by United States standards, they'll actually execute him in the year 2055. If this goes according to all the other cases we've covered on the death penalty, they'll finally kill this nigga in 2055.
at the hands of you, Xavier Davis.
The victim's family still reeling. Outside the courtroom, Davis's mom shared her thoughts only with Fox.
My sympathy goes out to this family. In no shape did any family win. None. No family won. And I'm deeply saddened from this.
It is a relief to know that Xavier Davis got the outcome and the sentence he deserved, that this family got justice.
The emotions were high for both sides in this courtroom, and the state says they're ultimately pleased with the verdicts that the jury came to. For Fox 26 News, I'm Abigail Dye.
We're focused on.
Let's see, man. Let's see. Let's see. Let's get into it.
Today, Harry.
They're not gonna kill that nigga till 2055. Ain't that a bitch?
What should be happening right now, and what would the penalty be?
What should be happening right now? What do you mean by that?
Like, I'm not saying if there isn't, like, what is the normal process by which the arrest happens? Like, what should be playing out in the courts? How would this normally be handled?
Tim is still trying to cape for Karmelo. But he just doesn't understand, man. Tim's going to be very sad, man. Tim doesn't understand how these things work, man. And I know y'all say he's from Chicago and all that shit, but he just doesn't understand how this shit works, man.
What should be happening right now, and what would the penalty be?
What should be happening right now? What do you mean by that?
Like, I'm not saying if there isn't, like, what is the normal process by which the arrest happens? Like, what should be playing out in the courts? How would this normally be handled? If it wasn't a high profile case, if it was just like two kids in Chicago, what would be happening right now? Like, they're going to go to pretrial hearings? Like,
yeah. So that's what'll happen. So now he's been bailed out. There'll be months and months and months of pretrial hearings. There'll be in limiting motions to exclude certain kinds of evidence. There'll be motions to bring in certain kind of expert witnesses. Ideally, by the time the trial actually starts, by the time a jury is seated, everybody should know, the lawyers should know exactly what legal arguments and what evidence is going to be presented. There should be no surprises for them. It's all supposed to be basically scripted out ahead of time. The only thing that's happening in the courtroom really is it's kind of a theatrical presentation to the jury.
Yeah.
They're the ones seeing it all for the first time. So they call it preliminary hearings, like preliminary sounds unimportant. This is where the legal battlefield for that trial is being defined. Like it's like a football field being painted out. This is where the rules are, what you're allowed to argue, what witnesses you're allowed to have. This actually largely determines the outcome of the trial, all these preliminary hearings.
So based on, we'll clarify your guys' view in a second, but like based on how you guys view what went down, what do you think the penalty for Karmelo Anthony should be?
You know, I have to be honest, I don't really do sentencing stuff.
Then what would your assumption be on what a court would prescribe for this crime?
Typically, it would be 20 to life.
20 to life?
Yeah.
Wow.
Often without possibility of...
Yeah, Tim. 20 to life. 20 to life. Yes. Yes. 20 to life, Tim. And the judge won't bat an eye. This is an open and shut case, Tim. Even if it's in Chicago, and even if both people were black, you stab somebody to death. See, one thing about people, they get this shit mixed up, right? They get lost in these plays, this theater, this public theater, you know, the next generation the next generation, whatever the fuck, and protecting white Americans and all this shit. Yeah, no, listen. Talk to any Sun man from Blackistan. He knows so many people that have been fucking gotten 20, 30 years, 50, 80 years. Listen, I got pictures where everybody in the picture is in prison right now. Okay? And I'm talking about for real shit. Real shit. I'm talking about decades or never coming home. I get calls from jail, from prison. 3-way and shit like that. Niggas that's never coming home. They're never coming home. See, when you're like Tim, right? And you're from Chicago, but you're not like black, and you don't got like black cousins and black friends, and you went to black people, you just know a bunch of black people like that. You say, yeah, I'm from Chicago. Nah, motherfucker. Knowing a bunch of people that got, that listen, I know a bunch of motherfuckers that came home from those sentences. And I know motherfuckers that's deep in the streets that know way more motherfuckers than that. This whole notion that like this is some big fucking like pretzel for the judge to untwist, man. It's only because it's become racialized and politicized. A normal day on a normal court docket in Cincinnati, Ohio, or Birmingham, Alabama, this shit takes one day, maybe an hour. This shit takes maybe an hour. If the nigga ain't got no money, and the nigga just got maybe got a lawyer, a little lawyer he paid a couple $1,000s to, he comes into court on a trial date. They display the evidence. He definitely ain't gonna take the stand. The cop takes the stand. A couple of the people there take the stand, and then they hand it over to the jury. Then they both dismiss their cases. Everybody says, I rest my case, and then the judge goes in the back of the chamber. Then they come back out and say 20 to life. Boom. And then before the echo of that gavel, when he slammed that gavel, before the echo ends, the court reporter is calling the next case. We call case G45 C62 Stevenson versus the county of such and such. And the next case, and the bailiffs take your ass to the back. And that shit happened all fucking day long. The only reason this is different is because of this bullshit, this racial bullshit. This has become the one. And people gonna be so sad when that boy get fucking 20 to life. I've been there in the courtroom. Seen motherfuckers faint. Young boys faint. 17 years old faint. Get 58 years and faint. I'm talking robbery cases. I'm talking robbery cases. I'm not talking about nobody got killed. I'm talking robbery cases. These little carjackers in these cities. Once all the cities stopped, once all the cities reversed all their George Floyd bullshit, once they reversed all that shit and stopped fucking around and went back to the real laws, all the motherfuckers doing them carjackings. Nobody died in a lot of those carjackings. Those motherfuckers getting fucking 30, 40 years, man. They getting their boot smoked. Thing about Tim, man, he's like a lot of people. There's nothing wrong with him. He's like a lot. He lives in. He has the luxury of not knowing these niggas all his life, and knowing these niggas getting locked up, knowing when you don't see a nigga, he got locked up, and then you hear about what he got, and you're like, damn, and then you go on with your fucking day. Like, yeah, you know, I ain't seen Peanut in a while. Yeah, you know, Peanut got locked up. Yeah, judge smacked his head. Oh, for real? How much he got? 75 years? Oh shit. And then you go on with your fucking day.
Preliminary sounds unimportant. This is where the legal battlefield for that trial is being defined. Like it's like a football field being painted out. This is where the rules are, what you're allowed to argue, what witnesses you're allowed to have. This actually largely determines the outcome of the trial, all these preliminary hearings.
So based on, we'll clarify your guys' view in a second, but like based on how you guys view what went down, what do you think the penalty for Karmelo Anthony should be?
You know, I have to be honest, I don't really do sentencing stuff.
Then what would your assumption be on what a court would prescribe for this crime?
Typically, it would be 20 to life.
20 to life?
Yeah.
Wow.
Often without possibility of early release.
So, wow.
Yep.
What does that really turn into? Does it always actually?
If it's life without possibility of early release, you're in there forever.
But 20 to life, right?
So it varies a lot by states because different states have different rules about how much they can reduce it before you're eligible for parole. Some it's a third. You only do a third and you're eligible.
Yeah.
So a 20-year sentence could be, 7 years and then you're out.
What do you think? You're the cop.
Yeah, but we know what state this is happening in. It's not like we don't know what state this is happening in. We know what state this is happening in. He's going to get basically. Here's what I think, though. Because of all this shit, he may get a break. But the next 90 niggas who come in there with this case, the next 90 white boys who come in there with this case, the next 90 hombredos that come in there with this case will get what this guy said. Press 1. Now, yeah, this guy may get a little bit of a break because it's gonna be like, oh, you're gonna send him away for life? They're making him so sympathetic and shit, and they fucking with the jury pool and shit like that. They're playing all these dirty tricks. But 99 out of 100 guys who come into the courtroom with that case is gonna get their fucking boots smoked.
$25 to life, eligible for parole. Right now, if they determine later on that it was like he went up to a group of friends and said, I'm going to go over there and start some shit.
Life.
Probably.
Premeditation.
I mean, it's Texas, so they're a little more heavy-handed than New York, who has a catch and release program. Ask me how I know. And
we're not fans.
Yeah. Thanks, Governor Kathy Hochul. And so if this is, this is Texas. In New York, I would say probably
he'd be let out right away and they'd apologize to him.
Pretty much. They'd give him an iPad and a cell. And
here's a new knife.
Yeah. Here's a new shiv. And then they let him stab a corrections officer. Yeah, I'd say like 20 to life, maybe 20 to 40 years. He'd probably get parole in about 15. And he'd be on the streets on parole for like.
This is the reality of it, man. This is the reality. A lot of people gonna have to. A lot of these HBCU YouTubers with 18 degrees that done fell in love with this kid, Karmelo. This is the reality, man. You go into a court with this case, you get your fucking boot smoked. Black, white, Indo-Chinese, Taiwanese, Tibetan. It don't matter. This is a cut and dry case. This is an easy case. This is not controversial. You just go in there and you get your boot smoked, and then then they call the next case. A lot of people had to come to grips with that, man. When that shit happens, even if he gets off, and even if they cut him a break and he get 12 years, these motherfuckers think he's gonna do nothing. These motherfuckers have become so attached to that little boy that 12 years is gonna seem like he's getting railroaded. Press 1. 12 years is gonna seem like he's getting railroaded. These motherfuckers have fallen in love with this little killer.
I don't know, 15, 20 years until
probably
45, he'd be clean. Absolutely.
So
nothing by 45.
how do you guys view this? Like the story, what happened?
What do you mean?
Like, how would you describe what happened based on what we know? Just like, and why it warrants 20 to 40 or 20 to life? Like, what happened? Like, what do you think happened?
Two high school students got into a momentary beef with each other. One grabbed the other one, and the other one stabbed him in the heart. I don't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really, that's all that happened. Everything else is not going to be admissible in court. The next generation action figure dude, he not going to be in court. He not going to say shit in court. All these people making up this shit online, these fake theories, none of them are going to be in court. None of that's going to be in the evidence, brought to evidence. None of that's going to be in the discovery. None of these YouTubers' opinions are going to be in discovery. Two kids had a momentary beef. One kid grabbed the other, and the other stabbed him in the heart. Ran away, hid the knife, and when the police came there, he said, "Yeah, I did it."
I don't think it's really much more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
I mean, we've all been to high school, right? We've all gotten into fights in high school. Well, except none of us got stabbed in the heart. But
high school had guns.
It's the most common thing in the world.
Yeah.
Well, then, I guess it seems clear cut.
Except the stabbing part. That's
what. I mean, my only, and this kind of shifts the direction a little bit, but I think when we look at the campaign and the amount of money that it's raised, what we've seen.
That's not evidence. You can't, his defense can't say, "Yeah, Your Honor, but look how much money we raised on Give, Send, Go." That's not evidence.
The direction a little bit, but I think when we look at the campaign and the amount of money that it's raised, what we've seen with campaigns like this is that they are driven by media sensationalism. And so I wouldn't have expected a campaign to this campaign in that fact base level thing to raise nearly this type of money. It's because of the outrage on the other side, particularly on the right, that I think is fueling this. I think these donations is being fueled by people that are saying, look at what they're saying, what the right is saying in these scenarios where they allowed campaigns for Derek Chauvin and all these other people. It was the same thing that
they didn't allow campaigns for Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin and Kyle Rittenhouse got kicked off of every platform. Why they keep saying that? Derek Chauvin got kicked off of every platform. Those people were not allowed to raise money on Give, Send, Go and none of that shit. No, it was GoFundMe. He wasn't allowed to raise money on GoFundMe. He wasn't allowed to raise money on GoFundMe. They weren't allowed to raise money on GoFundMe. On GoFundMe. They were allowed to raise money on Give, Send, Go, not GoFundMe. So yeah, he's right. Salute to Louis Barrow. Louis Barrow says, why do sons keep referring to Karmelo as a baby or child when he's 6 foot tall, 17 years old? That knifed someone to death. 17 is a young adult. Well, baby, they infantilize him. They make him lovable, man. All the rappers are named Baby. Something Baby, Dub Baby, Little Baby, this baby, that baby. Or just Baby. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. You're not going to get this raw shit nowhere else, man. Y'all not going to get this raw shit nowhere else, man. Them other niggas going to tell you, look, listen to what them other niggas going to tell you. They're going to tell you, oh, man, yeah, man, they can't do that to that, but yes, they can. They can give that boy a life sentence. Yes, the fuck they can. And it's going to seem like a big thing. It's going to seem like a big thing only because of all this shit. But I promise you, it's not a big thing. It's not a big deal. This is not a big deal. This is an open and shut case. This case is open and shut. This isn't controversial at all. This case is not controversial at all.
That drove Daniel Penny's, the amount of money Daniel Penny raised, 3 point whatever million, was because the mainstream media immediately created a black and white narrative and ran with it. And then these things are fueled by the media narratives around it.
Yeah, I mean, no one's donating because they're calculating what they think the legal defense is going to cost, and they want to make sure he has that much money, right? Each individual's donating largely on an emotion-driven basis.
Yeah, I've read the comments. Some of them are disgusting.
So we have a question from Chad Smith. He says, Texas recognizes imperfect self-defense. Impact?
Well, unfortunately for Anthony, the version of imperfect self-defense that Texas recognizes is different than the rest of the country. The rest of the country, and what imperfect self-defense does is if you're convicted of murder, it mitigates the murder down to manslaughter. So instead of looking at life, you're looking at 20, maybe you get out in 7-8 years. You started as a 17-year-old kid, you're out in your mid-20s, you still have a life to live. Manslaughter sucks, but it's a lot better than a murder conviction. And in most states, how imperfect self-defense works is you had a genuine fear of deadly force harm from somebody and you killed them in self-defense, but your fear was objectively unreasonable. It was kind of a panic reaction, for example. That can't qualify as perfect self-defense and get you an acquittal because perfect self-defense has to be reasonable, but it can mitigate murder down to manslaughter.
So let's say there's like an old white guy and he's like seriously like 75.
I think we just had a case like this where an old white guy, a young black gentleman came up to his door.
That's
Right?
what I was going to ask.
Yep.
He got into a car accident and
Ralph Yarl. He's talking about the Ralph Yarl case.
He jogged up to the door to ask for help and he was injured. And the old man feared this, panicked, think he was going to be robbed or whatever, and shot the guy.
Yep.
Through the door, wasn't it?
I think it was through the door.
Well, then in the case I'm thinking of, the young black man thought he was at someone's house to pick up
that was
his
a different
brother.
one.
Right.
That one.
That guy shot through the door.
Yeah, but that kid, like, the report for that is that he knocked on the door.
Yeah.
I kind of think he probably opened the door thinking like
he definitely had his hand his hand on the handle. Yeah.
So how would that? So let's do that story because the one where the guy runs into the house that was really sad. He got into a car accident.
Yeah.
He was injured and he was jogging up to the house to get help because he needed to call somebody and they panicked and shot him or something like that. In that story that you mentioned where he went to the wrong house, how did that one play out?
The old man took a plea, and then before he could be sentenced on the plea, he died.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Justice.
Wow.
Cold bitch.
Oh my gosh.
He just died of old age. But that would be a classic case where the jury could believe, all right, this old guy, he legitimately had a fear of death from this young black man trying to get into his house, apparently. But that fear was objectively unreasonable. He should not, a hypothetical reasonable.
Yeah, right. If a young black man trying to get if I went to my door right now and there's a nigga out there pulling on my door, I'd be like, yo, what the fuck is you doing, dog? I wouldn't shoot him, but I might. If I was older and I was scared, or if the situation, but I mean, like, yo, this whole thing where you shouldn't be scared of some young black teen, they're the ones doing the crime. We got to stop this shit where we act like the people who are doing the crime, people don't notice that. People don't make mental notes. People don't make associations. The brain doesn't naturally make associations like, yo, every murder in this city has been done by a black person. It was like, let's just say it was 600 murders in the city this year. All of them were done by black guys. The carjackings, all of them were done by black guys. All my friends that I talked to over the years, when they've been robbed or mugged, was always a fucking black guy. Now it's fucking 10 o'clock at night and some fucking niggas tugging on my fucking door. But it's reasonably it's not reasonable for me to be free. Yes, it is.
A prudent person would not have had that fear.
Do y'all have any fears that with the selective release of information, the right could be being misled on what happened with the Karmelo Anthony case?
Everybody's misled in all these cases. It's disinformation all day, especially from the media. Everything the media says about any of these high-profile cases has to be presumed to be misinformation, to be false, to be lies, until proven otherwise.
Right.
The only thing that counts is the actual evidence, not how it's recounted or how someone describes it, the actual evidence.
So my concern is the adamant nature on the right that this is as we believe it to be. My fear is you've got 33 witnesses who've not given statements or have, and we don't know what those statements are.
Sure.
Yep.
What if 15 of those tell a completely different story and say that Karmelo tried fleeing and, also something like that? I really doubt that's the case, considering the two witnesses that are presented in this. But I do have a concern that the right is assuming that I believe there's two witnesses that gave versions of the events that are available in this police report out of 35.
Right. Listen, there is evidence that could develop that could make this self-defense, or at least look a lot more like self-defense. So if Austin Metcalf greatly outweighed Karmelo Anthony, which could be the case, right? They're reporting.
Well, right. So
I'm suspicious of that weight number for Carmelo Anthony because I think it was from an outdated ID, and teenagers grow a lot, over a short period of time. But say there was a real disparity of size and strength, and Austin Metcalf grabbed him and then said, "I'm going to beat you to death." Well, that's a different scenario then. Then there may be a reasonably perceived imminent threat of deadly force harm, because deadly force harm doesn't just mean force that can kill you. It means force that can cause you serious bodily injury, a maiming type of injury or broken bone. That would justify the use of deadly defensive force. The trouble is we don't have any evidence like that yet. And Carmelo Anthony himself, he says things to the police and he does not say anything like that. He doesn't say he was in fear for his life. He doesn't recite any facts that would reasonably be perceived as a deadly force threat from Austin Metcalf.
I think, thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon.
Americans, fight. Hey, Jeff, it's Jake Lang here.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Jeff, first of all, my entire heart rests in your hands. I would be in my position, not even as somebody even knew your son, but somebody that shares the same understanding. I grew up as a 17-year-old young white man too, and I grew up in fear of my life around black people because they were killing and robbing people around me all the time. And I don't understand as a father, you could sit idly by and not condemn the culture that killed your son. There is an epidemic problem in this country, and your voice could be one of the loudest voices in this country, but you've chosen to recoil out of fear and continue the suppression. Why will you not stand with me and with the rest of the people? We're not calling for racial divide. We're not calling for hatred. We're saying 350,000 attacks on white people by black people a year in this country is wrong. Why can't you stand that and say with that? Maybe you can. Would you be willing to stand by me in a press conference or in an individual interview and talk about this issue that is larger than Austin at this point? God rest the beautiful young man's soul that would have been one of our strongest voices if he was still alive today.
Are you done?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, my turn to speak. You are part of the problem, my friend. You're trying to create more race divide than bridging the gap. I do not condone anything you do. You do not have any.
That's called white guilt.
No, let it talk. Of my son. Let me finish. I gave you your time. You take my son's face off your website. I am not associated with you.
You're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir. You are creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness.
In history, this is the shit. We're white.
What do y'all think about this, man? How many likes do we got, man? How many likes do we got, man? We got 3 contributors. How many likes we got? How many likes do we got? Shout out to Barry B, man. Barry B in the building, man. Yeah, that was a very aggressive phone call, man. I think he knew though. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Let's get 6 more likes, man. 6 more likes, guys. And let's get some more contributors, man. Let's get some more contributors in here, man. Support the channel, man. Where all the Op Nation supporters at, man? I keep hearing about all these people that love the channel, man. Support the channel, man. This guy though right here, man, that was a very aggressive call, but I think he knows that Jeff Metcalf is a cuck. So like, this is the thing about being a cuck, right? And let me get Jeff Metcalf up on the screen, man. And I mean this with all due respect, man. I mean this with all due respect, man. And I think that Jeff Metcalf is a dynamite guy. I wouldn't clown him for being a cuck. I wouldn't hold it against him. But he is a cuck. And I know that would offend that should offend his friends and people who support him. That should offend them. You know what I mean? I could be called a deadbeat. You know what I mean? Somebody could call me a deadbeat. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, nigga, you ain't shit. Like, nigga, you fucking loser, man. You on YouTube. You ain't never get no real. You ain't get no real job. You never did no real career or whatever. You know, somebody can say that about me. Like, you know, you ain't no real career, motherfucker. You just on YouTube, fucking deadbeat. I mean, when I call Jeff Metcalf a cuck, it doesn't mean that he knows he's a cuck. It doesn't mean that he wakes up and like, hey, I'm a cuck. You know what I'm saying? All it means is that cuck is the word that we use to describe that behavior. Okay? Cuck is the word that we use. You know how black folk get mad when you call black people thugs? Like, it'll be some case or something, and you'll be like, yeah, that guy's a thug. And the black people are like, oh, that's just a term. You just want to say nigger, but no, the guy's a thug. He's been arrested 40 times. Most of them are violent crimes. That's a thug. That's what we call a thug. So when I call Jeff Metcalf a cuck, it's no offense. It's just the word that describes that behavior. Now, he came out originally and immediately forgave the kid. Who remembers that? He immediately forgave Carmelo Anthony. He immediately forgave him. Okay? The family didn't ask. The family didn't say, hey, man, through a statement, the family didn't say, hey, man, I really hope that their family can forgive us one day. No. He immediately came out and forgave him. Without even being asked.
Anthony killed Austin Metcalf at a track event, both fathers made news with their comments. First, Carmelo's father said this: "Everyone has already made their assumptions about my son, but he's not what they're making him out to be. He's a good kid. He works 2 jobs. He's an A student. He has a 3.7 GPA. He was not the aggressor. He was not the one who started it. I feel bad for the other parents and family, and words can't explain how both have been affected by this tragedy. Yes, of course, because he wants you to remember his family are victims too." Carmelo himself reportedly said this: "I was protecting myself. He put his hands on me." So this much is obvious. They're going to try self-defense at trial. Meanwhile, Austin's father made news for the quick forgiveness of his son's murder.
Already forgiven him. That's for my peace, not his. I rely heavily on my faith to get me through this. Like I said, people ask me, how can you forgive to this other person? I said, I forgive the other person because the forgiveness is not for him. The forgiveness is for me, so I can have peace. His life is destroyed. My life is destroyed. This was not a race.
His life is not destroyed. That kid's life is not destroyed. Even if he goes to prison, he's still living. He's living. A lot of son men will be in prison. The way Carmelo reacted, the way he reacted in that moment, the pattern of behavior we already know he got in a lot of fights at the school. We already know he was starting to hang with a rough crowd. The roughest crowd you could find in Frisco, because there's not really a lot of rough kids. But we already know that he he was hanging with the wannabe gangsters of Frisco. We already know Carmelo Anthony was hanging with the wannabe gangsters of Frisco, of Collin County. There's not a lot of, there's really no gangsters there, but the kids that were into hip hop and, fighting in school, he was in that crowd. We already know he pulled out a knife at a track event and stabbed someone in the heart. There's a possibility. Let's say that day never happens, right? Let's say he stabs Austin and Austin had on like some kind of flak jacket or something and it didn't go through. And it just like, it just hit his flak jacket and the flak jacket caught it and he ran away and they ran away. We never heard about it, right? With that type of behavior, this is the thing about it. That type of behavior is indicative of character. So Karmelo may have ended up in prison on another charge in the future. He may have done something else in the near future that ended him up in prison. So when Jeff Metcalf says, oh, his life is destroyed, if this boy was going down a path and he was behaving a certain way, aggressively and violent, even if he hadn't killed your son, he may have ended up in prison or jail for something else. So his life really is not destroyed. His life being destroyed would be if this was an aberration. If this was an aberration, if he got drunk or he was texting while driving and he killed somebody. And it's like, oh, shit. He's a good person, but he just, did something stupid, texting while driving and killed somebody. And now he's going to jail. That's his life being destroyed. But him being aggressive and confrontational, that type of behavior leads to prison. So yeah, salute to S Freak. He said support the channel and smash that like button. Yeah, man. Shout out to S Freak, man. S Freak in the building, man. Salute to Spooky, man. Spooky says, love the show. Keep educating the public. Yeah, man. I'm trying to let y'all know, man. Trying to keep y'all safe, man. Trying to keep y'all safe, man. The basis of this case is something that I've been preaching about for years. All the day ones here at Ock Nation know the basis, the foundation of this case is something I've been preaching about for years. And that's never tell a son man to leave somewhere. I've preached that so hard and so long, pause. That's this case. Something that I've preached about for years. Never tell a son man to leave somewhere. That's rule number one. That's rule number one. So I've done my job trying to keep y'all safe. I've done my job trying to keep y'all safe, man. I've done my job, man. Trying to keep y'all safe, man. But back to Jeff Metcalf being a cuck, right? Jeff Metcalf is a cuck because him forgiving his family has not engendered their softer side. It's not garnered their, it hasn't tapped into their altruistic side. What is something else I say? What's rule number 2? Let's just say rule number 2. Does anybody know rule number 2 that I've preached about for years regarding sons? Does anybody know rule number 2? I've preached about it for years. You said, your whole audience is ghettos. Yeah, man. He said, nah, rule number 2 is no act of kindness goes unpunished. No act of kindness goes unpunished. Yeah, DNA is up there too. DNA is another rule. I'll give you all that. But the things that I've been preaching, as far as the safety rules, no act of kindness goes unpunished in Blackistan. Okay? So he hasn't, him bending over backwards for the family. What they do when he showed up, they kicked his ass out. And then talked shit about his son. His dead son. Jeff Metcalf has openly spoken out against right wingers and white people that are incensed by this. Unprovoked. Any white person that ducks their head out of a hole and says, hey, man, that wasn't right what happened to Austin. Jeff Metcalf is like a whack-a-mole. He's literally whack-a-mole. Jeff Metcalf is literally the whack-a-mole meme. If you're white, shout out to B. Stephanie Bewitched Don't Bother. If you're white and you say anything about this situation, Jeff Metcalf is standing there with a fucking mallet ready to whack-a-mole your ass. Press 1. Whack-a-mole your ass. And you would think that the family would be like, oh, okay, so Jeff's out here fucking whack-a-mole and all the white people. That's nice of Jeff, man. Nah, they don't give a fuck about that. But they turn around and they're calling for Hunter to be arrested. They want Hunter Metcalf arrested. The other brother. They're spreading lies that the brothers jumped him. They're spreading lies that the brothers were bullying him. You think the family's not behind all those lies? You think the family's not behind all those lies that are being spread, all those rumors that are being spread on social media? You think the family's not behind that? They got family members that are selling merchandise. They got family members that are selling merchandise. Have you heard once the black family come out and say, hey, y'all, stop selling merchandise, man. You know, stop selling merchandise and shit. There's a rap song in support of Karmelo Anthony. Have you ever heard the family say, hey, man, take that rap song down, man? That's not appropriate. They let everything that's going on go. They don't tell their people to stop nothing. The Anthonys haven't told a nigga to stop doing nothing. The Anthonys haven't told one nigga to stop doing nothing. But Jeff Metcalf, if a white person sneeze, he gonna whack them over their ass. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were supporting my son. Like, no, motherfucker, I wasn't supporting your son. I sneezed. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were supporting my son. That's a cuck. That's what you call a cuck. Press 1. That's what you call a cuck. They have it. The Anthonys have been disgraceful. If the Anthonys weren't black and the bar wasn't so low in hell, I'm going to say this again. If the Anthonys weren't black and the bar wasn't in hell, they would be getting roundly criticized for their reprehensible behavior. Press 1. They would be getting the whole story of this would be how horrible the Anthonys have behaved, from hiring this fucking ex-pimp as their speaker to creating all these rumors in the media, to the mother playing the victim at the press conference, to the cousin making fucking t-shirts and selling t-shirts with Carmelo Anthony face on it. If the bar wasn't in fucking hell because they're niggers, the story of this last few weeks would be like, God, they're awful people. The Anthonys fucking suck. They're reprehensible. But the bar's in hell because they're black and nobody expects anything from them. Meanwhile, you got Jeff screaming at white people every 5 minutes. You got Jeff Metcalf screaming at white people every 5 minutes to shut up and stop dividing the country. Now, Anthony's asking for more money. Anthony's asking for more money. That last press conference, the way they were groveling for more money, That shit was disgusting. They were panhandling and begging. Karmelo kill somebody, he get donations, man. Deacons, lock the doors, man. Deacons, lock the doors. Lock the doors, Deacon. We need some seeds planted in this motherfucker. Lock the doors, Deacons. Lock the door. Just some dude says, Karmelo, Luigi, Kilmar, rounds, faced liberal glider women, and sun women do love them some criminals. Who's Kilmar? I heard about Kilmar. I had to find, what is Kilmar? He's another sun man that did some shit. It sounds like a fucking Indian or some shit. Patel. Yeah, so when I call Jeff Metcalf a cup, I'm not like trying to be mean, man. That's just the word we use for that type of behavior, man. Shout out to you, Jeff, if you listening, man. If you listening, Jeff, man, no hard feelings, man. That's just the word we use for that behavior. In our lexicon, man. Now, if you want to introduce a new word into the lexicon and call it something else, that's fine. I'm willing to work with you. If you want to use a substitute word, the only word I know is cup for what you're doing, Jeff. What's happening, guys? How's everything?
What's up, Ak? Salute.
Good morning. Happy Easter.
What's up, Pantheon?
Morning. Talking about Easter, unfortunately, Jeff Metcalf has chosen a hill and he's prepared to die on that hill. He went too fast, too quickly with the forgiveness route, and unfortunately, he can't retract. So he's just going even harder with that. And now talking to everyone like, oh, you're dividing the country, you're dividing this. What he should have done is, obviously, this thing was going to devolve into race relations, but what he should have done is send out a blanket statement at the beginning to say that any protest or anything is not in our son's name. Please do not use his photograph or likeness, image and likeness for anything, instead of having a recorded phone call with these protesters. Because again, it just puts the fact that gliders aren't united. They can't even be united for something like this.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like going back to what some other people said, like, it was the Department of Justice Community Relations Board or something like that. I think he was pressured not to make this about race, and possibly by DOJ, possibly by the ADL or SPLC. I think there's more behind the scenes that we don't know about, but
no, I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
Go ahead.
No, I heard about the DOJ.
All the
yeah. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
KB, come on.
Say all the pro-white groups are labeled terrorist organizations, so it's not like you'd expect anybody to start protesting after a crime like that. I wouldn't have expected it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, if there's any cause to protest, it's this, because, now this is getting the attention that it needs, like, for white victims of black crimes. And it's been going on for quite a while now, too. And like, now you see, like, now these white groups are gaining traction now that they have a footprint on X, which is a major social media platform. They're getting all that attention. Like, I can't see them not using this to their benefit.
You talking about the white groups? I think.
Yeah.
I wanna.
They're all feds.
Well, I mean.
Yeah, true, but like, that's what I'm saying. It's hard for whites to organize because when we try to organize, we don't trust. Like, we can't trust a white group because it could be federal infiltration or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's damn near impossible.
The feds infiltrate. You got. White people don't understand this, that you could be infiltrated by the feds undercovers. Any white group, right? A biker group, right? All those white biker groups, they're all infiltrated by the feds, right? All those white gangs and stuff, they're all infiltrated by the feds, right? They all have an undercover in their midst, right? But that doesn't mean they're the feds. It just means they have they're targeted by the federal government with undercovers frequently. Like, it doesn't mean they're the feds though. You white people gotta stop saying that. Stop land based in every white group as the feds, because you discredit them and you discredit what they're doing by just blanketly saying they're the feds.
Well, true. As long as they're not doing anything blatantly illegal, then these white groups can still maintain the moral high ground. That's what I'm trying to say. As long as they don't preach violence or anything, but they just make their voice heard, and they start waking people up and getting support. Like, and the feds can't do much.
Yeah, but even any white group is going to be infiltrated by the federal government.
True.
I'll show you a video later, but I want to show you this video right now, man.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why they can't do anything illegal, because as long as they don't do anything illegal, the feds won't have grounds to take any action. You got to be wary of those people who are preaching violence, who are going to create entrapment and whatnot.
Yeah, you got a lot of weird sounds coming out.
Yeah, you got some birds or something.
Birds.
Oh yeah, my window is open. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, them birds are singing.
Yeah, Tweedledee, you got fucking Rockin' Robin going on out that motherfucker, man.
coming there with peace. Just
Here goes Pantheon's boyfriend, man. So I try to like keep him in the loop for Pantheon, man.
He can hear the family speak. But like I said, it could have been just a misunderstanding, timing, etc. Okay, but let's move on. Okay, so they did not talk. They did not talk to the guy. Or I'm sorry, the Metcalf family did not talk to Jake Lang. Not at all. Okay, not at all. And yet they still decided to put his face on all these flyers, basically saying, that let's take, you know what I mean? Let's stand together in solidarity and make this, black people stop hurting these white people. That's literally what that was. So let's take a look at some of these videos.
I just want to show you this because this guy right here, he's pretty down the middle, right? He's not necessarily a racist. The far end of the black racial spectrum. Think about those numbers, right? You're 28 times more likely to be attacked by a white person than by a black person than vice versa, right? Right? And he makes light of that stat. He just made
disingenuous.
No, but it's like it's no big deal. That's a huge stat, those crime stats, interracial crime stats, are bonkers. Like they're so bad. Like it's almost as if it's unbelievable. But he just makes light of it.
But that making light of it is standard though. It's like typical. You know what I mean?
Right, right. But I just want to note that because he's not even a racist. He's like trying to be middle of the road black person. He's making fun of that. Like it's nothing.
Let's look at some of these. Let's take a look at some of these protests or the protest and the vibe that was going on. It's very interesting, to say the least. And by the way, guys, do me a favor. Okay, before we get into this, hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you can, if you could. Oh, so please, if you could please. I can't talk right now. Just hit the like button down below. Hit the reaction button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We got things to talk about, and we talk about a lot of stuff on this channel. Okay, not only just the Karmelo Anthony Austin Metcalf case, but we're talking about a gang of different things. So make sure you're medieval out here. This is getting crazy. All right, but let's take a listen, or let's take a look at some of this. We're gonna be hopping through this.
A gang, huh?
So we're not watching this whole doggone thing. It's a damn near hour and 10 minutes long. We got things to do.
Lord, we know you stand with us. We know you stand against every violence and every evil principality that would lift itself against you, Lord Jesus. God, we just want to address everybody when you just say later on, guys, we don't go over the comic book that to ourselves. Do not address the antagonizers. We don't antagonize somewhere. We don't want any violence. It's a peaceful event, okay? Yeah. So, guys, this is a historic event. Now we're addressing the crowd, so I shifted it. Before we had the stadium in the background where Austin Metcalf was murdered. Please reshare this link online right now, guys. Get this out to as many people as possible. Guys, this is the first time, I'd say, in American history, but as long as I've been alive, the white Americans and my brother, black Americans, white Americans can stand up and speak out. We have been suppressed. We've been suppressed for generations. He has his opinion. We've been moved to the back of the bus and told to sit down and shut up. Let's give him some attention. Generations ago, it was people of this skin color. And now it is our people that are being brutally murdered.
I'm hoping that local PD is keeping an eye on these dudes. You know what I mean? All the people that showed up, it's like, really, you just exposed your own ass. Okay, let me just be real.
So he wants the local. He wants the local PD to keep an eye on these people.
Standing in the
think about that
car park.
Think about
Lighters
that.
organizing is terrorism.
Yeah, but think about that. Saying that about some gangbangers with multiple murders is snitching. Like the black community, that's snitching, right? But it's not snitching.
They don't even like stop and search for gangbangers.
Right, but it's not snitching. They'll snitch on gliders. They'll snitch on gliders in a heartbeat. That no snitching rule is hard in the black community. But when it comes to gliders, they snitch. Yo, we need the police to keep an eye on these people. For this. For what's happening here, they need the police to keep an eye on people. But for what happens in their community, man, stop snitching, man. You mind your business, man. Mind your business, man. Ain't got nothing to do with you, man. Mind your business.
It should be blatantly obvious to everybody
because it's not like
that
a
son that sons just are the most hypocritical people out there. You know what I mean?
They're awful.
Like
100%.
Yeah,
they hate the system, but if the systems can work for them, it's the best thing ever created.
These people aren't doing anything. These people are not doing anything. If a black community could be this quiet and this reserved at any point during the day, that would be a fucking miracle. Nobody's doing anything here that deserves to be followed by the police and tailed by the police after this.
Sea of faces out there. Like I said, this is like, it's like that it's like the Fleetwood Mac tribute band that your dad really likes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got laid to that song for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like, look how many people are in there. It's gonna be like, oh, there's Jack, and there's Michael, there's Sammy.
You need police.
There's one-legged Larry right over there too. Okay, so now I'm sorry.
So now it's funny at how little gliders are at the protest.
I can't. I can't. Okay, the racism is.
Yeah, are we afraid or is this funny?
Yeah, I don't think he's center at all.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, what if
For
this
a son? Hold on, for a son? For a son? Yeah, yes, he is. For a son, man, yeah. He's a son, man. Yeah, for a son, man,
Yeah, he's reasonable.
If Brandon Tatum and Jason would lock up to the right and shit like that, and Dr. Umar and Tariq Nasheed to the left, this motherfucker's in the center. What you talking about?
Left-leaning center.
Okay, I'm sorry.
To normal people,
you know, if you really think about it, this is some really sad stuff, y'all. Okay, this is sad, and all you can do is laugh because we should be better as a people. We should be better as a country. Come on now. He's telling the truth, brother. He's telling the truth, brother. Come on, man. And it's like one-legged Larry. What are you doing here?
He hates white people.
Man, you still owe me that 5 spot for that beer last night, man. Where's my 5 spot, bro? One-legged Larry.
Philip Anderson is a January 6th patriot and hero that stood shoulder to shoulder with me at the Capitol. Here we are again, 90 days after getting pardoned. 90 days standing again. Those who are fearful in the audience and in the crowd to stand. I did 4 years and 6 days incarcerated, mostly in the DC Gulag. I was never offered bond. I applied 3 times. I have no criminal record. I put millions of dollars in property and cash up. There is a man with just 20 knife who is home right now, who is murdered, a member of this community in Frisco, Texas. For 2 weeks, his blood has been on those bleachers, and nobody has stood up in support of him. Nobody has stood up in support of him. So we had to come in from Florida. We had to come in from Texas. There's not been a protest. There's not been a staged event. So
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, guys.
silent when these type of acts are crushing and killing people. The heart of patriots. I'm calling upon
I'm just showing a little bit.
all races, all religions, except Karmelo Anthony, the murderer that has been idolized by the violent black culture in America.
It's pathetic to see that amount of police.
Is the reason why Austin Metcalf's family is grieving today. Violent black culture is the reason why young mothers are afraid to push their kids in strollers.
Yeah, but the police aren't there for the gliders. They're there for the protest.
Do you hear what this guy
they're
is
there
saying
for the
in the
glider.
background? I know we're all looking at cops and all that, but he's sitting there going, it's because of violent black culture that's causing our wives and the future mothers, you know, our mothers not being able to walk through, you know, and push their children through certain communities and all that stuff. All I'm saying is that this is the kind of stuff he's saying. A peaceful protest, sure, he has a right to say what he wants. I don't agree with it, but at the same time, it's like,
okay, so when you see a bunch of white guys on the street at night, you are fear. When you're walking down the street and you hear some noise around the corner, you're praying at some white guys. Okay? You're praying to some white guys.
Yo, Ike, did you hear the new information that came out today?
What?
Oh man, he didn't have no knife, man. he had cleat sharpener.
That's old news. What's up, Crook County?
Yo, it was good. That's what they said today. I seen that shit today. I said, come on, man. And this motherfuckers I went to school with like reposting that shit. And they like, see, I can't wait, man. So much more to this story.
It's bad.
what is your agenda here? Because if it was really about trying to get justice, and you think that this Karmelo Anthony getting out on bond is unjust, then make it about that. He's only making this about race. Solely, this whole thing is about race. And he was hoping that there would be a huge turnout for this situation. Now, I will say this too. There's still a possibility of him trying this again and it working. And it being a bigger turnout. Because I know for a fact other people are looking at this and going, wow, this was sad. This was a sad, sad attempt because it didn't work.
Well, here's the thing, too, that the Sun Man doesn't really understand is that you can lose your fucking job. He's already, think about this. A few minutes ago, he called for the police to monitor all these people here. Like, the police to, tail all these people and put them in a file and just monitor them, right? And then a few minutes later, he says, it's sad nobody came to the thing. Well, yeah, white people, they're not going to come to this type of shit. They're terrified.
You know what's going to be sad? That once black folks, because we like super like linear thinkers and can only focus on one thing at once. So once another thing happened and people stop talking about Karmelo, and then like next year around February, it's gonna go to trial or whatever, blah, 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 and he gonna be convicted for 25 years. They're gonna be surprised and shit. Like, oh my God, what the hell? This shit is so much disinformation, and we know that no one is gonna actually like watch the trial except for like us and gliders. And it's gonna be literally like an open shut case. He might not even take this shit to trial. That's how bad this gonna be. He probably gonna just take a plea, and they gonna be surprised that he take a plea.
Yeah,
like it's people that still think that Kyle Rittenhouse shot and killed 3 black people with an AK-47 in the back.
And it just goes to show you how the black culture is, right? Like, so they'll say that, right? And people who know that didn't happen won't correct them. Like, you can say, "Hey, shot 3 people in the back," and nobody will correct the black person. That's a luxury. Like, it's kind of like Tommy used to say, like, you the retarded kid in the back of the class throwing snacks at the wall. Nobody's gonna come back there. They're just clean it up. You know what I'm saying? They just wipe the snacks off the wall. No one tells black people, "Hey, man, because it's been 3 years, and the footage is easily accessible. It's not like you got to go to like you know what I'm saying, the dark web to see
Right,
that
you don't have to like literally and they even helped them out even more. They got still shots of old boy getting his arm shot off while he's pointing a gun at Cal when he's on his back.
Yeah, they got all types of memes with all 3 of the guys there that were shot, their whole backgrounds and shit. And black people will still say that publicly, like openly, and no one, the white liberals there won't correct them. The niggas won't correct them. It's almost like, it's just how they are. Whatever, man. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what they think. It's whatever. And that's disrespectful. Like black people don't even see the disrespect in that.
Sometimes I'll correct them, but for the most part, fuck it.
No, I mean you do, but you're gonna not be around them. Like, you ain't at the wine and cheese party where they talking about this shit. You're not at the, you know what I'm saying? They're amongst each other. When they're amongst each other, they don't. They just just let that shit go.
Hey, do you hear that tapping, or is it just me?
That's probably me. Yeah, but this is sad, man. How black people are allowed to just be like,
say the most outlandish,
disingenuous.
Yeah, almost outlandish shit.
And what's sick is that, like, this should go to show, like, you gliders, how like they will like never accept, like they'll never accept, like they will never not hate you, bro.
Right.
Like they will hate you no matter what. That man came out and forgave him before his son's body was cold.
Yep.
And what did they do? Talk shit about him and his dead ass son and kick him out of a public fucking press conference.
Told him that being there was a disgrace to his son. And listen, the nigga who said it got like 20 mugshots. The nigga who called his son a disgrace got 20 mugshots.
Out. I mean, still people showed up, but like I said, it's like 6 people in the room, and that's about it, y'all. Okay. Again, this is bad. Okay,
Reminds you of a BLM protest after
this
2020.
man is out here, and his purpose for standing on top of this MAGA bus and all that stuff, or it's not at all about Austin Metcalf. It's not.
Well,
it's about him just trying to put out some sort of agenda.
I will say this though too. At least the white protester, like the guy Jake, he had more of an audience than the Niggans.
Yeah,
that just goes to say something.
But this guy right here, he doesn't realize that, like, the privilege he has, right? You could never explain to him that, like, yeah, white people can't come to these things because they'll go to work on Monday and they won't have a job.
HR.
Yo, have y'all seen a Hawk Newsom protest lately?
No.
Hell
The
no.
one, old boy, loud BLM fucking dude from New York.
Yeah,
the big guy. That's always
Right.
yelling and screaming and shit.
Oh yeah, he was like
That
the leader.
motherfucker couldn't get a crowd at all. Yeah, he can't get a crowd at all, bro. He been trying to push back against Eric Adams and all the other shit, bro. It'd be like 6 people. It'd literally be him and his wife now.
Damn,
And he
really?
talking about this is sad and all this other shit. Every BLM protest, if it wasn't led by gliders, it was about 30 fucking people. You remember when the police shooting out there and that one when they had tried to block off the street or some shit when the FBI had killed the dude in Minnesota? It was like 12 people and all. Man, that should be sad. Like, these are
It's
horrible
not
people.
even that.
Horrible
Even in all the news bulletins that we watch, when someone said, "Oh, they fired me," like some person says, "Oh, they fired me from my job," you'll have them and maybe like 2 of their friends standing in the background when the news presenter's presenting. I mean, protests by standard aren't always full.
I just
Because
want to say
it's usually the person affected and then their immediate supporters.
I just want to say this right now. I just read in the comments that most of those big time protests were actually organized by Gliders or Juice Crew. And that's the thing, like, you know, Sons complain about, like, Sons hate Gliders and all that, and they complain about how they're being oppressed. But the people who are organizing those protests against Gliders are Gliders themselves, and they don't fucking see that either.
Yeah.
Sons are jealous of gliders. They hate them.
Well, that's obvious. Everybody.
Very, very, very hot. My opinion changing and switching up based on
Everybody
the
listen
amount
up.
of
It's your sister
information
speaking.
that I have. So right now, what I'm actually dealing with is this self-defense definition of self-defense. So I was watching Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown was on somebody's podcast, and he was explaining how self-defense says in the self-defense clause, this Fifth Amendment that, well, first of all, the Fifth Amendment states that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, and with the Miranda rights, anything you say can and will be used against you. But with the self-defense rule, it says that you cannot escalate the use of force. You cannot escalate the force used unless there is disparate strength. Hello, Maya. And what's being said with that is,
This
you
bitch
know,
irritating.
Can you put
you
her on
can say
1.5
self-defense if, it's a
He
little
was a
old lady.
football player.
I'm trying to hit this one point about
Young teenagers are trying to steal her purse, and they trying to snatch her purse, and they being really forceful with her, and she pulls something out and really hurts them. That is something that would be just a easy, regular self-defense case, because of course that little old lady did not match the strength of those young men. And I'm speaking about Carmelo Anthony.
I'd rather go to TikTok, man. These black people, but you already know where she's at, man.
She wants people to treat Sunteens like little old grandmas.
These people are
exactly like, and then we could just go to YouTube and watch his fucking highlight tape of him playing 707 with big ass kids dominating. But we supposed to believe that he was so fucking afraid of Austin Metcalf. Fuck out of here. Come on, man.
And we play these games. Black folk play these crazy ass games, man. Now black people young black teens be scared of white boys.
Yeah, not only that, but like Kirk said, you see these young Sun teams, you know, they're strong, right? Yada yada, but they expect the cops to do what? Like caress them and catch them and do what with that?
Yeah.
You gotta use force sometimes.
Be
on
gentle.
Them, right? And that's freaking the bay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough spot that society's in. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's just I'm not as annoyed by it tonight as I was the other day. The other day I was just like, oh God, man, it's burning this whole motherfucker down. But you know, I'm not as annoyed tonight, man. I think that rally kind of like made me like, all right, well, you know, I mean, gliders are like at least
you tried
some spine, yeah, some spine,
showing some faint signs of life.
Yeah.
All right, for everybody that's making the Karmelo case about race, I guess they feel like he's not supposed to defend himself. George Zimmerman's attorney said itself that Carmelo Anthony should win this case. So we're gonna see how the evidence turned out, but this is what Zimmerman.
No, he didn't.
Was the initial aggressor? How did this unfold such that if in fact he had a reason to believe great bodily injury was imminent, was it reasonable? Was he pushed? Was he shoved? Was he hit? Because don't forget, it's of the moment, but you are allowed to respond to great deadly force with your own great deadly force, or at least your perception of great deadly force. So it's really going to be fact-based. I do think that race, it's going to be played out on social media. It also is going to be played out in a courtroom if you ever get there, because in today's day and age, I would argue that someone like Carmelo Anthony now has a heightened concern over the past few years and the way we sort of degraded some of the progress we thought we made over the past decade, as far as how we're treating young black males in the system, such that maybe he would have felt more preyed upon than he otherwise would.
All right, for everybody that's making
what the fuck?
He's trying to get some new customers.
He might, yeah, he trying to get that call, bro. Hey, but he probably is gonna end up getting the call. White, look, listen to this, gliders. We hate y'all so fucking much that we are now George Zimmerman fans.
Wow.
No, we hate gliders so much that we are now agreeing. We trying to find somebody to agree with so bad. It's George Zimmerman's lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Shout out to Dab Shank.
Yeah, you know, I thought I learned some things just watching Ak, but man.
She says, Dab Shank says, pull up ET with a wig. It's the splitting image of Carmelo's mom. Jesus Christ.
Call him back to Africa.
She said, Rudy the vet Russo says, Pantheon, I love you. Shout out to Rudy
my
the
darling.
vet. Shout out to Rudy the vet, man.
So if the altercation started inside of the tent, yet his body was found 10 rows above the tent, and his brother stated in an interview that he whipped around and he saw his brother grabbing his chest coming down the bleachers. That means it took place in the tent, went up the bleachers. Y'all followed this boy all the way up the bleachers. Took his phone, broke his phone, tried to take his bag, his property, and assault this man, being a Karen. So if the altercation started
And nobody's
inside,
gonna tell her that she's wrong. No one,
Like,
no one's
what
telling
the
that. All
fuck is
that's
she
been
talking
debunked.
about?
All that's been debunked. That was the fake shit that they was putting out.
I
Like
understand, but the whole 10, I've never heard the 10
me
rows
neither.
above and shit. Like, what the
Me neither.
fuck?
It's probably more shit that she heard on the internet. These people are horrible.
The thing that's really sticking with me about this entire Carmelo Anthony case really doesn't even have anything to do with him or the case. It's about all the racism that has followed. I have seen white people, and it's actually quite ironic. I've seen white people get online talking about, oh, my kids are no longer safe at school. My kids aren't
Sure.
safe at school because black boys like to run around with weapons in their book bag and woo-the-woo. Your kids ain't been safe at school in the last 10, 15 years. Let's just put that out there. Them kids ain't been safe at school. Ain't nobody kids safe at school in America. Let's just keep it real. And you not finna put that fact on this one black man that used a weapon in self-defense when he was being jumped. You're not gonna do that. Because the reason that the schools ain't safe is because y'all's trigger-happy asses like to go up in these schools and unalive anything in sight.
Damn.
Y'all do that. We ain't doing that. We ain't taking no damn AK-47 down to no elementary school.
I know that's right.
Is you cool?
You're waiting
And I
till
don't
they
even
get
have to
out.
bring up George Zimmerman or Kyle Rittenhouse to prove my point, because y'all know just like we
Oh
know
God, who's gonna
y'all
tell?
know just like we know that it's a
Show the
whole different
stats,
set of
Doc.
laws for black people. Y'all know that. But what y'all won't do is try to paint this image of this 17-year-old black man who has never been in trouble, who
He's a
has
baby.
never
Man,
been connected to any kind of criminal or gang
thought he was a
activity, who
kid.
has
Is he a
never
man?
made
Is he a
anything less than
baby?
an
Is he a
A, who
A
child?
has
child.
Is
never
he a young
done
boy?
anything bad in the eyes of the, who has never even been seen
He's
in the
just a
eyes of the law.
children.
This man has contributed good to not only his community, not only his family, but to his school. Y'all not gonna paint this image of him as if he's just some gangster the way y'all love to do that. Because if anything, George Zimmerman was a fucking
He
gangster.
painted
Come
that
on.
picture
The
himself with
thing
the
that's
pictures he was
really
posting
sticking with
online, bitch.
George Zimmerman. She
And
said George Zimmerman was a gangster, the dude that was
Dang.
the
Thug
Boys
Life.
and Girls Club fucking neighborhood watch guy.
Right.
Motherfuckers don't even know that. Like, you remember that? Did y'all know that George Zimmerman was like
Neighborhood
the,
Watch.
yeah, he did the whole Boys and Girls Club with like the little black boys and was trying to save their fucking life and shit.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Outreach, neighborhood community outreach and shit like that.
What I do know is that Texas high school that looks like a university campus is probably extremely safe.
damn.
You know, I'm always intrigued when some people say, for example, in this case, that he was a good kid. Think about it. This was one of the good kids.
I'm
He just
telling you.
left somebody to death.
I'm telling you, he was one of the good kids.
He only did that shit because it was raining.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, to all of the people who are
It was a full moon.
me as a black man in America, white people, I'm
That's
telling you, and
the
I'm telling you
low.
now, you never
Pretty much.
approach me.
Funny as shit.
I'm always interested when they say finna.
A blood moon.
You're not finna.
They don't use that in the UK?
And it's
Absolutely
finally here.
not.
Not
The
yet.
clapback has begun.
Hope not.
Well, you guys asked for it, and it's finally here. The clapback has begun. And to be quite honest, it's long overdue. Well, you guys asked for it, and it's finally here. The clapback has begun. And to be quite honest, it's long overdue.
What the fuck is
I'm
this
going
guy
to say something
thinking?
that's probably going to piss some of y'all off, but it is what it is. We're all adults here. Sooner or later, we're going to have to come to terms with this. They don't want to be silent no more. They're sick of y'all shit. And to be quite honest, so am I. Because y'all have been going at them for quite a number of years. Some of them people don't deserve none of that shit that y'all been saying about them. The way you've been treating them. the way you've been acting towards them. None of that. You won't let them wear their hair the way they want to. You won't let them dance the way they want to. You don't want them dating your men, even though you say you don't want those men. It's just so many different things that y'all mess with them about. And in this Karmelo situation, well, it looks like that's probably the straw that broke the camel's back, because now my FYP is flooded with them clapping back on y'all. And it's just them saying some of the things that they have been keeping quiet for so long, but it's not quiet now. And you're not, and now you're mad. And now you're going, oh, see, I told you they were racist. But look how you egged them, though. Look how you egged them. All this time, you just kept putting more fuel to the fire for no reason, though.
Salute to this guy.
And it's here now. So just sit back and enjoy the show. Because I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. They're not going to be quiet for you no more. And I don't think they should. They have a right to be here just like everybody else does. So you get what you give in this world. You should have known that. Your mama should have told you that. Oh, okay, never mind. I ain't gonna go that far. Well, you guys asked for it, and it's finally here. The clapback has begun. And to be quite honest, it's long overdue. I'm gonna say something that probably gonna piss some of y'all off, but it is what it is. We're all adults here. Sooner or later, we're going to have to come to terms with this. They don't want to be silent no more. They're sick of y'all shit. And to be quite honest, so am I. Because y'all have been going at them for quite a number of years.
KB is in the back.
Some of them people don't deserve none of that shit that y'all been saying about them. The way you've been treating them. The way you've been acting towards them. None of that. You won't let them wear their hair the way they want to. You won't let them dance the way they want to. You don't want them dating your men, even though you say you don't want those men.
KB's in the back.
It's just so many different things that y'all mess with them about. And then this Karmelo situation, well, it looks like
He's
that's
resting
probably
his
the straw
eyes.
that broke the camel's back, because now my FYP is flooded with them
He's
clapping
throwing
back
raw.
on
That's
y'all.
what he's doing.
And it's just them saying some of the things that they have been keeping quiet for so long, but it's not quiet now. And you're not, and now you're mad. And now you're going, oh, see, I told you they were racist. But look how you egged them, though. Look how you egged them.
I know how to
This
wake
time,
up.
you just
Yes,
kept putting
12, 12, 12.
for no reason.
I can't sing to him. You don't understand. I
Sit back and
didn't
enjoy
get
the show.
the singing genes
Because I don't think it's going to
that
end
come with my
anytime soon.
ethnicity. I
They're not
can't
going to be
sing.
quiet for you no more. And I don't think they should. They have a right to be here just like everybody else.
Cook County Bats too.
You get what you give in this world. You should have known that. Your mama should have told you that. Oh, okay, never mind. I ain't gonna go that far. Well, you guys asked for it, and it's finally here.
Wicked.
The clapback has begun. And
Wicked.
to be quite honest, it's long
Call
overdue.
him.
I'm gonna say something that probably gonna piss some of y'all off, but it is what it is. We're all adults here. Sooner or later, we're going to have to come to terms with this. They don't want to be silent no more. They're sick of y'all shit. And to be quite
Anyway, I
honest,
do want to say Scott Adams was
because y'all have been
years
going at
ago
them
when he
for
made his statements
quite a
now.
number of years. Some of them people don't deserve none of that shit that y'all been saying about them.
Scott,
The way you've been treating
no,
them.
Scott Adams.
The way you've been
I think it
acting
was
towards
now 3 years ago when he made those statements
none of
about
that. You won't let them wear
white
their hair the
people
way
and
they
they've
want
been
to. You won't let them dance the way they want to.
too compassionate
You don't
with
want them
black
dating
people and that
your
they
men,
should be
even though you say you
segregating
don't want
and just
those men.
concentrating on their own neighborhoods.
It's just so
Yeah.
many different
That's
things.
what this guy's saying. He's talking about the gliders, and he's
And then
basically
this
suggesting the
Karmelo
song.
situation,
The gliders are getting tired of
It
you.
looks like that's
Oh yeah,
probably
no, I understand, but I'm
coming back
saying
because
after Scott
now my
Adams said that,
FYP is
like, I don't
flooded
really know
with them
that
clapping back
a
on
lot
y'all.
of gliders,
And
not
it's
that
just
Scott Adams is the
them
be all and
saying
end
some of the
all, but I
things
don't know
that
that a lot of
we
gliders
have been keeping
have
quiet
actually
for so
taken that
long,
in
but
their own lives
it's not
and
quiet now.
moved to places which are
And
predominantly
now
glider.
you're mad.
Well, here's the thing, though,
Now you're
too. If
going,
they
oh,
move, the
see,
Suns are going to follow them. Like,
Mm.
the gliders need to have their own spaces and protect them with laws and
look how you egged them all this time.
and take action if they try to.
Fuel to the fire for no reason.
I'm not advocating for anything
Seriously.
crazy, nothing. I'm just saying.
Just sit back and enjoy the show. Because I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. They're not going to be quiet for you no more. And I don't think they should.
Are you awake now?
They
Were
have
you
the right
resting
to
your
be here just like
eyes?
everybody else does.
Aki's
No.
dreaming
You get what
about
you give in this world.
solutions.
Gifted.
Should have known that. Your
Wicked,
mama
can
should
you
have told
call
you
him?
that. Oh,
He's gonna wake up with the solution.
you
Give
guys
him a
asked for it,
buzz.
and it's finally here. The clapback has begun. And to be quite honest, it's long overdue.
Okay, can you just call them already, please?
Probably going to piss me all off, but
His phone is off, dude.
it is what it is. We're all adults here. Sooner
yeah,
or later, we're going to have to come to terms with this.
Okay,
They
let
don't
me
want to
see
be
if I
silent.
can screen share. I
They're sick of
didn't.
y'all.
I was too worried to
And
do
to
it
be
last
quite
time. I think I have to go to a different
So am I.
monitor. So hold on.
Because y'all have been going at them for quite a number of years. Some of them people don't deserve none of that shit that y'all been saying about them. The way you've been treating them. The way you've been acting towards them. None of that. You won't let them wear their hair the way they want to. You won't let them dance the way they want to.
This whole
You don't
notion
want them
about
dating your men,
sun hair
even though
and
you say
like
you
being
don't want
limited,
those men.
it's so fucking annoying.
It's just so many different things that y'all
It's like
mess
we.
with. And then
I
this
mean, it's like we don't
Carmelo
allow
situation,
gliders
well,
to come
it
around
looks
with
like that's
these
probably
Joe
the
Dirt
straw that
mullets.
Campbell's back because now
What do you
my
mean,
FY
Wicked?
flooded with them clapping back on y'all.
Like some
And
people,
it's
some
just
people wanna,
them
some
saying
men
some of the
wanna be able
things
to
that
have like their
they
dreads
have
and
been
all
keeping
this
quiet for so long, but
loud shit going
it's not
on,
quiet now.
but not even gliders
And
are
you're not, and
allowed
now,
to like
now you're
have
mad.
mullets.
And now you're going, oh,
You know
I
what I
told you
mean?
they were racist.
Yeah, they don't want gliders fucking wearing braids or fucking doing dreadlocks neither. But yet some women, they want to like fucking
More fuel to the fire.
get
But
the weave in
nobody's complaining though. Like the umbritos, the gliders, nobody's complaining about we
Sit
can't do
back
what
and
we want
enjoy
with
the
our
show.
hair.
Because
We
I
we,
don't
we
think it's
just
going to
keep
end
our hair
anytime
professional
soon. They're not going to be
for the
quiet for you
most
no
part.
more. And I don't think they should.
Yeah, I feel you.
Be here just like everybody
Like
else.
with me, I usually get a fade or something like that and just keep it a little longer on top. But
Live in this world. Should have known
Yeah, I
that.
mean,
Your mama should have told you that.
when you go to like, I mean,
I
like
ain't gonna go
professional roles, right? You don't see
there. You guys
gliders
asked
with like
for it,
mullets
and it's
or
finally here.
like
The
all this
clapback has begun.
redneck shit going on, you know?
And to
yeah,
be quite honest, it's long overdue.
And you don't hear them complaining about it. Like,
I'm gonna say
why
something
can't I
that
wear my
will piss
redneck
me all
shit?
off, but it is what it is. We're all adults here.
because gliders just follow the rules.
Sooner or later, we're gonna
That's
have
all
to
there is
come
to
to
it.
terms with this.
Yeah, I mean the guys are
They don't
just
want to be
they're
silent.
playing. They're just simple, I
No
guess.
shit.
You know, I don't know.
And to be quite
But
honest,
It,
so
it's
am I.
it's like it's like Ox said before.
Going
Usually,
at
some people
quite a number
they're
of years.
very loud, like
You
not just
don't deserve none of that
noise
shit
wise,
about
personality wise. They take up a lot of
the way you've
space.
been treating them.
You know what I mean? Like even when they don't say anything, you just feel their energy.
None
That's
of that.
just how some
yeah.
people are.
Their hair the way they want to. You
That's
Hey,
don't
one
let them
guy.
dance the way they
do you
want
remember
to.
the story from yesterday with
You
the
don't want
pregnant
them
white girl?
dating your men,
Yeah,
even though you
Dude,
say
I
you
was
don't
thinking
want
about it
those
today,
men.
right?
yeah.
It's just
25
so
times
many
beating her
different
with the
things that
pistol,
y'all
dude, is
mess with them about.
bonkers. Like
And
just
in this
you
Carmelo
and you're like
situation,
count to
well,
25
it
and
looks
swing
like
your
that's
arm with
probably the
like
straw that
swing
broke
your arm.
Campbell's back
1,
because now my
2,
FYP is
3,
flooded with them
4,
clapping back on
like
y'all.
25
And it's
times.
just
Man,
them
dude,
saying
that's
some of the things that
crazy.
And they were hitting her. Imagine if they hit her in the eye with the butt of the gun. She could have been blind. Hit her in the temple or something like that.
now
Well, I
you
mean, I'm sure they didn't give a fuck where they were hitting her.
see
That's what I'm
Wherever
saying.
it landed.
That's what makes she's so fucking lucky, dude.
how you
Yeah,
egged
oh,
them
they would have
all
definitely.
this time.
If she even moved wrong, they would have opened fire around here,
For no
dude.
reason, though.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And if you're a glider man and you defend yourself, like Daniel Penny, God
Right.
forgive, God help you.
But look, dude, if and when I wakes up, right, and we pick a city, we might come across a more fucked up story today. Like we are gonna come across another fucked up son story. It's an everyday thing, dude.
And
It's out
especially now since it's Saturday night, you know,
Saturday night.
it's warm, getting warm out there.
Yeah, yo, S Freak, have you? I know that you. How long have you been watching that?
Since I think since the end of 2023, for a little while now, but it was off and on, you know.
Yeah.
But whenever
Have
I
you
was
ever
working
seen
night shift, I was. Huh?
Have you ever seen Ike do the segment where he covers sons killing gliders? Where like there's a website that has like the month.
Oh yeah, VDare. I used to go on that website a lot. I know about all those websites. VDare, uns.com,
Yeah, I wish he
Renaissance.
would do it again because it was very. It was a mind fuck to
It
see
really
how
was, you know.
often it happens.
And usually they were like some of the most random shit, like robberies or like home
You name it,
invasions.
everything under the sun,
You don't
right?
want them dating your men,
It was a mind fuck,
even though
dude.
you say
And
you
look,
don't want those men.
hear me out.
It's just so
I
many
think
different
all of
things that
us
go
could
mess
strive to
with
be
them.
more like sun
And
men,
in this
right?
Karmelo
In
situation,
that the
well,
sun men don't
it looks like that's
discriminate,
probably
man.
the straw that
Everybody
broke the
could get
camel's
it,
back
dude.
because now my
And they do.
FYP is flooded with them
You know what
clapping
I
back
mean when
on
I
them.
say that?
And it's just
Like,
them saying some
like
of the
the
things
sun
that
men kill everybody,
they
dude.
have been
Every
keeping
demographic.
quiet for so long, but
It's all about
it's not
proximity.
quiet
You know
now.
what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And now you're mad.
They
Like they
don't.
always
And now
say,
you're going,
oh,
oh, see, I told you
sun
they were
men kill the
racist.
most trans,
Look
right?
how you
Or
egg them though.
you,
Look how you
you
egg
just
them
keep hearing shit
all
like
the
that. Like,
time.
oh,
You just
it's a mind fuck, dude. It really is.
for no
How
reason.
much, like, how often trans
And it's
sun
here.
men get killed,
So
right? Because they're proximal to the brothers.
because I don't think it's gonna end
That just goes to show the insanity of the left.
no more.
Like they support Islam, they support homosexuality, they support the Sons and all that other shit. But all those groups fucking hate each other.
Known that.
Yeah.
You want to know what the most fucked up thing is? You want to know what unites them? Their hate for the glider.
You guys asked for it.
You know what that reminds me of, dude?
The clap
I
back.
think it was last year. We were laughing
And
because
to be
you
quite
know
honest,
Father's Day weekend, right?
Yeah.
Well,
there's
I
something
don't know
that
if you've realized it, but this country has basically that weekend has combined it with the Gay Pride week, Gay Pride
sooner or
parades,
later we're gonna
and
have to come
Juneteenth.
to terms with this.
And I started
They
laughing.
don't
He
let us
said,
out.
"Man, we've given Father's Day weekend to the two
To be
groups
quite honest,
that hate fathers."
so am I. Because y'all have been going at
Yeah,
them.
that's the ultimate slap in the face.
Think about that. Think
People
about
don't
those
now
two
as
groups,
y'all
the
been saying
Alphabet
about
and the Sons,
the way you've been treating them,
to whatever
the
degree,
way
they're
you've been
not like
acting
the
toward them.
most like the most nuclear
None
family
of that. You
oriented, you
won't let
know?
them wear their hair the way they want to. You won't let them dance the way
Hilarious.
they want to.
Because they're trying to
You
replace
don't
those
want them
values.
dating
It
your
feels
men,
like that. It feels
even though
like
you
that
say
for
you
sure,
don't want
dude.
those men.
Yeah.
It,
Let me see
it,
if I can wake up real
it,
fast. Hold on.
mess with them about. And in this Carmelo situation, well, it looks like that's probably the straw that broke the camel's back because now my FYP is flooded with them clapping back
Let me
on
see if I
y'all.
can
And it's just
play the
them
alarm
saying
clock.
some of the things that they have been keeping
Okay,
quiet
are you
for so
seeing my
long, but
screen?
it's not quiet now.
No, I has to
And
give you
now
the
you're mad.
like
And now
the
you're going,
authority or whatever.
see, I
He's
told
able
you
to
they
you have
were
a
racist.
computer
But
or whatever.
look how you egg them though. Look how you egg them.
When
All
he
this
wakes up,
time,
maybe we'll tell him
just
that to
kept
like
putting more fuel to the
give you
fire
the
for no
screen
reason.
share if he's comfortable with it. I know he's giving it to Hot
Wake
Black and
up.
stuff.
So just sit back and enjoy the show. Because I don't think it's going to end
What's up?
anytime soon.
Yo, Ike is the
I don't
cops.
think they should.
Oh, look, it worked. He's up.
Shit, my alarm clock was about to go off in 1 minute. Less than 1 minute.
12. He's up.
KB's in the back, and I was trying to present as well.
Go ahead, say what you want to say.
She was trying to take the screen
He's trying to
share
take
because
the
you
screen.
KO'd.
Oh, go ahead. Where is it? You want to share
Oh, hold
something?
on. Well, no, it was just because he was because he was sleeping.
Yeah, she's saying like as like a safety film in
As a
case you KO
backup.
again.
Oh, yeah. Switch to the on that.
Hey, we call them sun people here, not morenos over here, bro.
Said Moreno. Said Moreno. Oh, brown sugar.
Hey, brown
Hey,
sugar.
hey, hey, everybody. By the
What's
time
up,
you woke up,
Hey, brown sugar.
hey, you had that man playing over and over and over again, torturing us.
What about
He was
this
trying to
one?
get his point across. He's trying to drill it in our heads.
Altercation at a Texas track meet leaves
Buck,
a
Buck
student
feels
dead and
much
another
more
student
invigorated now.
facing first-degree murder charges. This story has been blowing up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but has also gone national as a number of white conservatives are attacking the young black man who has been charged in this case. His name is Karmelo Anthony. They are demanding that he get everything thrown at him for what took place in the death of Aaron Metcalf. So let me unpack what happened here. Guys, roll a video. So
Doesn't even get his
understand, so
name correct.
17-year-old Karmelo Anthony,
Just skip
this is
this
him
one,
being
Roland.
released from jail, okay? He's been released from jail. A black judge lowered the bond. Well, that black judge has been getting death threats as a result of that. That's Judge.
I don't believe that. When black people say they get death threats, I don't believe it because black people would show that shit. Black people would show the letters. I don't believe that black people.
Judges probably get that all the time, anyways. It's probably part of the
Yeah,
job.
I'm confused. I'm really genuinely don't understand. Like, what? I just really, I need to know what happened. I need to find out what happened because why? How this story so big?
He was defending himself. That's what happened.
He's a young black man.
I'm just saying, like, I
Angela Tucker.
mean, I don't know.
Don't
He
be
was defending.
touching the sun teen.
I still, even when he was defending himself, how is this story still trumping everything else? Like, we had school shootings and mass shootings. Why are we still
Oh,
on
but
this?
those are black on black. Those are
She's
I think
been
it's
getting
'cause
massive death threats.
Yeah, this is
I think sons are driving this story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And to say that white people are driving is absolutely fucking insane.
Now, again, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony says he was only protecting himself when Austin Metcalf, according to witness statements to police, tried to shove Anthony, who attended a rival high school.
They're gonna the precedent for this judge. I don't know if this judge thinks about precedents because she's a sister, but a lot of judges thinks about precedents, right? And the precedent this will set, right? So this court, if you side with Carmelo Anthony on this court case as a judge, you're setting a precedent that basically there can't be no more fights in school because in all those fights, any kid can pull out a knife and stab the other kid, and we got to go through all this shit.
Yo, we got the VP in the bag.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was thinking too. If this boy get off, then every kid in this country gonna feel
Well,
like
that's
I can stab whoever and say claim self defense.
Well, you know what?
And it won't even be white and black. It'd be black and black, white and white,
Yep.
Mexican, whatever. Little kids, the kids is watching this to see what can they get away with.
I will say this though too. You know how the gliders can use this to their advantage. Okay, if you have that precedent, then we can start defending ourselves too. Watch how they're gonna want to roll it back. Watch how the Sun people are gonna want. That's what I'm saying. You got to use that energy against them. You feel me?
You have to, but you've also put yourself into a corner right now, where we all know that what is allowed and works for one group is not allowed and works for you.
So, but at the end of the day, it will still work because then it's going to be open season on gliders, and then
they prefer chaos. This is a precedent of chaos. They're trying to set.
I mean, like as horrible as it sounds, but look at how many people are being woke up right now. So, like, there's really nothing the Sun people can do that will benefit them in any way, if you really think about it.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, Necktie, what's up, man? How are you, bro? Cook, bro.
Yeah, man. First of all, I want to say salute to everyone that's on the panel and in the chat. Salute. I just want to say that a piece of all of us died when this all American, young man died, man. Like his dad is a bitch for forgiving that goddamn eat, that primordial eat. Um, you know, this to me, this shit ain't even about whether it's justified or not. It's about what kind of country do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a country where people feel like if you touch like their book bag, they could just stab you in the heart? Like, do you want to live in a like even if it's justified, whatever, he gets cleared, acquitted in court, but that we have to do our due diligence with that. That'll handle itself. Do you want to live in a country with people that think where there's millions of people that will justify a kid doing that to another kid like that? I just don't want to live in a country like that. Even if he does get acquitted of all charges, I just don't want to live in around. I don't want to live around people like that. I don't want to associate myself with people like that. Um, that shit is just it makes me uncomfortable that so many people think that that's cool because they would hate the person if that was their child. My child touched your child's book bag and now he has to die. Like fuck that, man. That's fucking despicable. It's
Exactly.
deplorable,
It
and this is
is.
why I Nate Higgers, bro. Respectful.
It's wrong because if you take race out of it, it's kids. These are two teenager boys. It's too many grown adults thinking this was okay. And I'm like, these are kids. These are little boys, like teenage boys. They didn't even get a chance to experience life. And you got all these grown people in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, 60s, like not upset about the fact that a kid stabbed another kid at school. They trying to
Right.
make it about race.
Yeah, Necktie, that day, two lives were lost, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, one
Yeah.
life was lost. The other life is gonna probably, if I don't know, maybe get acquitted, like you
That nigga
said.
he gonna get off. I
Even
think.
if he does or not, he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Either way, he'll
If
be
he
cool.
if he if he gets convicted, he'll just be a legend among sons. The guy that defended himself against the evil white boogeyman that tried to
Right.
degrade him as a young black man and have the audacity to touch him or his
Right.
belongings.
Well, so he's 17. He'll get out like in what 10? He'll be 27. He'll be all right.
But this the same country that was okay when a Luigi guy murdered that CEO. Like,
Yeah,
that's sickening.
yeah, that is.
And when
That's
I
the
saw
liberals
that,
for
I'm like,
you.
what's wrong with this? Why is people
Right.
glorifying murders?
That's the liberals for you, though, man. That's the self-righteous
I just
liberals
want
for you.
I get rappers. I know we glorify rappers, but in this case,
Yeah. Rest in peace, King Von.
yeah, like people do glorify King Von, and then you got people glorifying Luigi, and then you got people,
Free
okay,
Lil Durk. You know.
what this guy did to this guy, this nation is through.
Yeah. I mean, basically. But look, man, he's gonna be all right no matter what. Carmelo Anthony. How much time can they possibly give that young man? Say he gets 15. I think he'll get like 10, right? He'll be out when he's 30. That's perfect time, right? Right on time. He can still cause more damage when he comes out in 30. At 30, you
And
know?
his books will be full with donations.
But
Right, right.
people would say, okay, yeah, if that was my kid, if my kid was the what's his last name, Metcalf? If my kid was the
Austin.
Metcalf dude, of course, you know, you would want the Carmelo guy to get charged with murder. And then you got people looking at it if my kid was the one that stabbed him, I wouldn't want my kid to get charged with murder. People looking at it from different ways.
Yo, I 12, 12, 12. Did it work? You up, Ike? Damn. Yo, it's the cops. I mean, where's the alarm at, Astrid? Man, we should have let him giving you the screen share, Pantheon.
Yeah, he should he should have given me the permission as we.
Before he KO'd you.
Wake up!
When I first heard this story, I thought Carmelo Anthony, that's a basketball player.
Yeah, me too. I was never a Carmelo
I thought
Anthony
the basketball player stabbed somebody.
fan. Right.
I'm serious. I'm like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
basketball player, but then I looked and it was like a kid, a teenager. What the hell?
Yeah, I was never a Carmelo Anthony fan. I was more of a
I don't like
Kobe
basketball.
Bryant kind of guy.
Yeah. Wake up, Ak. Wake up. Ak.
Look, there's the alarm.
Ak.
Is it working?
No.
They just putting him to a deeper sleep.
Yo.
Oh,
Yeah, it worked. Good shit, Astrid.
Wow, man.
maybe you need an uncomfortable chair.
Yo,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
right.
sure it's the
Bring
chair
back
that
the
gets
old
you as
chair.
well.
Right? We fucked up
You
and
know
we need
what?
you to get that new chair.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know why I'm so able to fall asleep so fast, man.
You must got a baby on the way, another one.
Yo, don't wish that on them. Yo,
Got to be. You got another
you
baby on the
you
way.
you never fell asleep on the old chair. I'm just saying, it was
Yeah,
squeaking, but you ain't never killed on it.
yeah, that's true. It's the chair, man. It's the damn
Need to make
chair.
the basement ice cold as well. Make it
It's the
uncomfortable.
goddamn chair. Yeah, man. It don't look like nothing's going on today. Oh, here we go. Let's see this.
Now to the search tonight, which continues for a suspect who shot and killed a woman in her own car late last night. This happened in West Philly by Ludlow Street, and police confirmed that a child was also in the car as it happened. That child, thankfully,
Oh, yeah,
is
I heard
okay.
about this.
NBC 10's Lily Zhang spent the day on that street where police were investigating others trying to check in on their neighbors. Lily? Neighbors we spoke with could not confirm whether this woman lived near Ludlow Street where she was found. As police search for the shooter, community outreach has started. Kanasia Reed stands outside a home on Ludlow Street. There are few to get through. Eager to speak with neighbors, she also understands if they're hesitant. Reed was on the other side of the door just last year.
I was hit 6 times in my legs. So it's a very unfortunate situation of how it had to go.
That's how she got involved with the nonprofit Eddie's House. A program director says they reach out to neighbors in person, asking if they need any support in the wake of a shooting.
We're a community, so even though we don't know the people personally, we all affected by it. Like, unfortunately, in the city of Philadelphia, a lot of people affected by gun violence.
This is what neighbors along the 5700 block of Ludlow Street saw Friday night. Yellow tape marking the areas investigators were combing through after a 29-year-old woman was shot in her car. The shooter, according to police, shot in close range almost a dozen times, possibly more, narrowly missing an 8-year-old boy in the woman's back seat. By Saturday afternoon, remnants of the scene were still there.
I came back around like 4 o'clock in the morning. My mom and them was crying out here. And I'm like, what's going on? Why are you crying? She was saying that somebody got shot in front of the house.
This man says he left home about an hour before the shooting.
Put the guns down, like just stop the killing and stuff like that. Like, they ain't right. Feel me? Over some dumb stuff, petty. That's not cute. It's not.
The message to stop the violence is echoed by those who have experienced it firsthand and now want to be a part of the healing.
You can teach people that have been in your situation that you don't have to just dwell on the situation. You don't have to stop moving. You can just be motivated to do more, and you can inspire others with your story.
Police have not specified the relationship between the woman and the child. The child, again, is okay. They also do not know what the motive behind the shooting was. Police are urging anybody with information to come forward.
So that woman got shot in the car. That's no big deal. That's crazy. That's no big deal. Just,
That child is not okay.
You're right.
Just think about it. Close
William Zhang,
range,
NBC 10 News.
high power weapon, 14 times, probably all in her head. I mean, he probably had blood and brains, and it probably was his mom or auntie or sister. This should make headline news.
So the woman got shot up like that. Boom, 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 boom. And it's a brutal case. It's brutal. The community. Let's see if the community came up. Let's see if the community came.
Tonight, the search is on for a shooter who fired nearly a dozen shots into a car in West Philadelphia. The driver was killed, and police say the bullets narrowly missed a young child in the back seat. CBS News Philadelphia reporter Ryan Hughes spoke with a witness and has the latest on the investigation.
I heard 10 shots. I called 911.
A barrage of bullets fired through the front windshield of this car, and police say the driver was hit multiple times. Fearing for her safety, one witness didn't want to appear on camera, but tells CBS News Philadelphia the sound of the shots echoed through her living room.
It's tragic, and it shouldn't happen. And she was young, and obviously they have her little baby in the back. It's really tragic.
The shooting happened around 11:30 Friday night in the 5700 block of Ludlow Street in West Philadelphia. Police say an 8-year-old in the back seat was not physically harmed, but the 29-year-old woman in the driver's seat was found outside the car with gunshot wounds to the head and chest. She was rushed to the hospital and died a short time later. Police believe the woman was dropping the child off at a home on the block when the shooter came up and fired at least 11 times into the car.
Dressed in all black, also wearing a mask, approached the car from the front and then fired into the driver compartment at very close range.
It don't matter how many times it happened. It's always traumatic. Like, it's not something that you can get used to.
On Saturday, community activist Omar Muse with Eddie's House Community Crisis Intervention tried to contact the victim's family, and he spoke with neighbors to offer support following the violence.
Whenever we get in contact with the family, we're going to continue to show up for as long as we have to help them with the healing process.
Police say they are still working to learn a motive for this shooting, and the 8-year-old has been reunited with family members. A $20,000 reward is being offered for information that can help lead to an arrest. Ryan Hughes, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Do you think it's the baby daddy? The father of the
911, what's
child?
the address of the emergency? I am over off of 4th and just south of Lake, and there's a body outside of a building we've been working on. I just noticed it probably like a minute ago.
In the early morning of November 29th, Minneapolis police received a call about a body found in a courtyard near the intersection of East 31st Street and 4th Avenue South in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Wake
when
up.
officers got there, they
What
found
do
a
you
young
mean?
woman with a single gunshot.
What do you mean?
We thought she was asleep again. You know, it's a mass shooting in Memphis.
Right now?
Mass shooting in Memphis. 5 people shot. Like 2
So
hours
it's
ago.
a standard Saturday night then.
Let's see.
I can't believe it.
What else is new?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it just happened?
Yes, it
This-
just
this-
happened like 2-3 hours ago.
Oh, they might not have it on here yet. Oh, never mind.
A shooting that occurred at Mosby
and Dunlap at 8:08 p.m. on today. There were 5 individuals that were injured. 2 was critical. 3 were non-critical. All have been transported to the local hospitals for treatment. Our investigators are now actively investigating, combing the area for any evidence, and looking at video surveillance during this heinous crime. And we just want to tell the community that we are so sorry for this incident. Our community is crying out as individuals were out here celebrating a homecoming of a lost loved one when the shooting did occur. We need your help. Community, we need your help. In order for us to solve this crime, the Memphis Police Department need you. Please, if you know anything or if you know anybody who knows anything about a gray sedan that was responsible for this incident, please call Crime Stoppers at 528-K.
A gray sedan. Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Shout out to Gene B. Gene B coming through. Salute to you, man. Can we get some new supporters on the board, man? All y'all people out there watching, man, and nobody wants to support the channel, man. No new people want to support the channel for the first time. Nobody want to bust their virginity, man. Pop your cherry in supporting the channel.
It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
From WREG in Memphis.
That's so sad they gotta talk to these niggas like that.
They've been doing that. They've been doing it.
Not
for
really.
years.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't.
Yes, they have.
They just started this.
No, they used to
You
do
know how many
that
times
back
I
in the
came to
day.
this channel?
They used to do that back in the 90s, in the 80s. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but they hadn't done that until recently on this channel.
This is News Channel 3 at 10.
Topping the news at 10 tonight, a community in Memphis in fear as police look for a man who broke into 3 homes while the homeowners were inside.
Jesus.
In one incident, a child's life was placed in jeopardy.
Brazen.
Broke in 3 homes while the child was inside. I mean,
Does Memphis have stand your ground laws?
Yeah, they constitutional carry. Yeah, you can you smoke that nigga.
Any of the 3 could have killed him.
Yep.
With no issue. Okay.
Yep.
Was placed in jeopardy. Hi there, I'm Shay Arthur. Greg and Stephanie are off tonight. Now, this all happening in a Parkway Village neighborhood, and the suspect was armed. WREG's Drita Patterson talked with neighbors.
People watching on a perfect porch-sitting night is what you can often find Jonelle Bridget doing. But after a reported string of violent home invasions Thursday, Mr. Bridget is reconsidering some things.
I just heard it on the news just a minute ago saying that it's a home invasion in Parkway Village.
He's spot on. Just after 3 p.m. Thursday, investigators were called to Eastport Cove, a few blocks from South Goodlet. A man barged into a home here. This is where children live, as you can tell by the many toys in many of the yards. Sadly, an infant was caught in the chaos. Armed with a gun, police say, after making his way into the home, he snatched the infant from the arms of the baby's mother while pistol whipping another victim. Fortunately, the young child was not taken as the gunman took off.
It's scary. It's scary.
Take a look at the man who incited fear. The photo is a bit blurred, but in the video, what you're looking at are his mannerisms, which someone may recognize. He was on the move, walking next to a house along Claudette Road. He went into a home, closing the door behind him.
You got to lock your door behind you.
Someone in the home screamed with the would-be attacker running away. Next, he came here to the Eden Point complex, one turn off Night Arnold Road, reportedly holding those inside a unit at gunpoint. He left without taking any items, but Mr. Bridget says without question, he stole their sense of safety.
You got to stay aware of what's going on.
Yeah, that dude is rough, man. He doing that shit in Memphis, just breaking the people's homes while they're there.
There's a lot of Mexicans and blacks over there in that area.
Mexicans carry cash, right? They known for that.
Yeah, Mexicans don't because they can't open bank accounts. Yeah, that used to happen in New Orleans a lot too.
But he probably broke into some black folk houses too. I know, tell him.
Why can't they open bank
You're
accounts?
surrounded.
Illegals.
I should have known.
All time.
This is still very much a puzzle with a missing piece, as police are still trying to figure out who it is that carried out at least 3 home invasions.
There's too much going on.
For your news leader, Jarita Patterson, WREG, News Channel 3.
Hopefully get answers tonight. And to get another
look.
look at that man police are looking for, just head to our website, WREG.
Somebody in the back. Who's Pharaoh's reaction. I don't know. What's up, man?
What's good, homie?
What's happening, man?
Man,
Go ahead.
shit,
What's your
man.
thoughts?
Man,
What's your
look,
thoughts?
it's been a minute since I've been on here, man. I don't know if you remember, I'm the cop from Savannah.
Oh, okay. What's happening, man? How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
What's new?
Huh?
What's new? What's new in Savannah?
Shit, niggas still wilding out. I ain't a cop no more, though.
What happened?
Man, I quit.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, bro.
You had to quit?
Huh?
You had to quit? Or you just you on your own? Are you
Bro.
forced out or you just quit?
Both. I was on my way out. So you're like, oh, who's gonna let you go anyway? I'm like, bet it didn't matter. It didn't bother me none.
Dang.
Yeah, so doing something else, man.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. What does a cop do in security or something? What
Oh
does a
no,
cop
I ain't
do?
doing, man. I ain't doing nothing else with security, man. I went back to using my hands, bro.
Oh, okay.
Mechanics.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Making good money, man. So I'm cool on that. But yeah, man, it's been a minute. I've been sitting in the back for like an hour waiting to come up, man.
He was man, I ain't know.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
know.
you was asleep half the time.
That's a lie, man. I wasn't asleep, man. That's a goddamn lie, man.
I have woken you up probably 4 times this whole week.
Oh, this week?
I'm not taking any lies.
Wow.
I had dozed off. I dozed out one time, and I woke up and you was still snoring.
Yeah.
Boy, wild for that, man.
I be doing these shows later and later. The shows I used to start these show at like 9 when I first began.
And see, that's the reason why I've been able to catch you, man, because you be coming on late, bro. I be trying to sleep.
Yeah, I gotta try to. You know what? I try to take a nap. Like when my kids go to sleep, I take a nap and then come on to the show and still fall asleep. So I need to just start the show then when my kids fall asleep, and then get off of here and then just go to sleep.
Off the bat, man.
Yeah, because I be trying to take a nap, a little 2-hour nap before I get on here, thinking it's gonna help me out. It's not helping. I still fall asleep when I'm on here. Let's see what's happening in the Savannah right now. Right now, in Savannah.
Niggas
But we begin tonight with breaking news. One person is hurt after a shooting on Tybee Island. This video sent in by a WJCL 22 viewer shows the intense police response amid heavy traffic from Orange Crush. And despite the timing, city officials say the shooting is not related.
That Orange Crush shit, man, that's like a spring break. You say spring break type deal up here, man. Like that's Tybee Island. That's like 20 minutes outside Savannah, 25 minutes outside Savannah. But yeah, it don't nothing really going out there at Tybee Island, man. Ain't nothing but a bunch of rich white folks. And then, niggerdom strikes once a year, and then that's when you got that type of shit going on.
Wow.
I like Savannah. I enjoy myself.
Oh, Savannah is beautiful now. Don't get me wrong.
Nice.
But it's got a mean underbelly to it.
Yeah.
I enjoy
Geechee, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ain't they Geechee?
Yeah. Savannah look good, but her feet stink.
Oh, shit.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Andy Cole. Here's what we know. Tybee Island police say it all happened on Lovell Avenue near 10th Street around 7:50 this evening. Officers have shut down the area around the crime scene and say it will remain closed while they investigate. One person was hurt and is now recovering in the hospital, and a suspect is also now in custody. But Tybee Island officials haven't released the identities or descriptions of the victim or suspect. Assistant City Manager Michelle Owens tells WJCL 22 that this shooting is not connected to Orange Crush. You're looking at our traffic camera on Butler Avenue at 14th Street. You can see hours after Orange Crush. It seems to be pretty clear on Tybee Island. When we learn more about this shooting, we'll update you on air and online at WJCL.
Yeah, it's clear because the police down there. Shit.
Nah, I'm gonna say for the last few weeks, man, it's been, you know, everyday nigga shit, man. And like, you know what I'm saying, somebody get beat up, somebody robbed something, and then I want to say about a few weeks ago, it was a few shootings, you know what I'm saying? So it's small town, big nigga shit.
That's what's his face? Quando Rondo, right?
Yeah, man, that bitch ass nigga, man. Hey, look, he can't move nowhere. He can't move around in Savannah. That's why he be moving in silence like that, man, doing stupid shit.
Oh, really? If niggas in Savannah want his head?
Man, niggas in Savannah been want that nigga head, man.
Man.
Been want his head, bro. Like, when I was a cop, man, like, I ran into that motherfucking court, outside the courtroom and everything. I told him, I said, man, what you need to do is get your money, get the fuck up out of here for somebody to do something to you. And he just looked at me and smiled, and next thing you know, I want to say a couple of days later, he was at a basketball game, got his ass jumped, and I told him. Hard-headed ass little nigga, man.
Ain't he a Crip or something?
Yeah, if you want to call it a Crip. Them motherfuckers ain't Crips, man. But let me put it like this here, man. In Savannah, man, like you'll have motherfuckers from the east side and the west side of Savannah, right? On the east side, you number of Bloods. On the west side, you number of Crips, right? Them motherfuckers move in the same neighborhood. You'll see a gang of them full of Crips and Bloods and Vice Lords out this bitch. And you don't know who is who, and they fighting over whatever. So there'll be all one gang, and it'll be like 3 different sets in one fucking game, man. This shit's stupid. Because half the motherfuckers grew up with each other.
Covering Savannah and the Lowcountry. You're watching WJCL 22 Morning News, the one to watch.
Getting ready for Orange Crush, the first permitted beach bash in a while, happening this weekend, and we got a ribbon cutting taking place today. We've got everything you need to know ahead of this event. And the Savannah Challenger set to make its return to the hostess city. When and where? You can catch some of the biggest names in tennis causing a racket. Plus, how about this? A surprise from the skies. How the Golden Knights managed to pull off a 4,000-foot jump. Right.
Look how fun life can be without niggas, man.
See? Those are the events I go to when I go out in Savannah, man. I don't go downtown Savannah where the club's at. I wait for shit like this to go off, and that's when I go, man.
On to the pitcher's mound there at historic Grayson Stadium. You're going to want to see this story. Let's take a live look at those roadways. How about I-16 at 280? We're out in Bryan County, and I'll tell you what, not too bad out there right now at 6:01 on a Friday morning. Thanks so much for starting your day with us here on WJCL 22 News. Good morning. I'm Frank Solkowski. Emma, she's got the morning off. Meteorologist Jonathan Myers. Tell you what, he has put together quite another forecast for us.
Great weather, and you saw that sports, those highlights. What some low rounds yesterday.
You have the perfect
weather.
weather.
Look how nice these white Look how nice these white people are. You would never know this was a nigga shithole.
Hey, look, I'm putting like this, man. Like the way Savannah built, bro. Like you'll have the hood, and then you have suburbia, and then you have the hood, and then you have suburbia. They're right beside each other, bro. It's like you go from shit show to chandeliers in a split second. That's how it's built, man.
Where are the sun up towns?
Yeah, since they removed downtown, You know what I'm saying? Or they move like I did on the outskirts of Savannah, right on the outside, just outside the damn city limits, away from the niggas.
No,
Away
but
from
where are the is it sun up or sundown?
No, it's neither. Anybody can be out. It's not a sundown town.
No, but I'm saying where are they in Georgia?
Oh, sundown towns?
Yeah.
That man, non-existent. If anybody tell you there's one, it's probably tucked off between an asshole and a tank. You'll never
Yeah,
find.
where you want to find somewhere where a white person gonna feel comfortable telling the black person, hey there, bucko, you can't be out here late at night. Do you understand that that's gonna immediately start a fight?
Exactly.
I mean, a confrontation.
Ain't nowhere in Georgia. I ain't seen it because I'd
I
have been
never
everywhere.
seen nowhere. I'm in Pennsylvania. I've been to every little town in this motherfucker, and the niggas, Dominicans, and all of them are here.
I think that
Man,
sundown
white
is
folk,
a myth anyway, man.
white folk ain't saying they ain't saying nothing to no Dominican, no Puerto Rican, and they damn sure ain't saying nothing to no nigga. They'll say something to a Dominican before they say something to a nigga.
Right.
But they not saying nothing to no nigga. Hey, tell a nigga to do something? Shit. You crazy.
Asking for all the trouble.
Frank? Well, happening this weekend, it's the return of Orange Crush on Tybee Island. This year, the event is permitted after organizers met an extensive list of requirements from the city.
Organizers met an extensive list of requirements from the city.
Oh, because it's for Orange Crush, man. It's been years since they've been able to pull off a really sanctioned one, man. I want to say last year, or year before, they did a petition to try to get one done because black folks showed up last year. Last year and year before, and just threw a party on the beach without, with no permission and shut everything down. They had to rush people out there. People went to jail and everything out there, man. They tried to throw concerts.
And
people
this year,
coming out there.
Event is permitted after organizers met an extensive list of requirements from the city. WJCL 22 News' Kyra Naveau. He is live out on the island this morning. And Kai, how is Tybee preparing for this influx of visitors?
Well, Frank, good morning. So the city of Tybee Island, they're really welcoming this new.
So this is yesterday, and today we have a shooting. I did this shit out of order, out of chronological order. This is yesterday.
New era of their relationship with Orange Crush organizers. I want to know that this year's Orange Crush is the first permitted Orange Crush since 1988. So the city has mandated that this festival be reduced to one day here on Tybee Island. That's going to be Saturday. Saturday is the day of the main beach party. Now, the beach party will happen on the beach from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. There is a beach cleanup scheduled from 7 p.m. until 8 p.m. Now, events that are going to happen tonight and on Sunday are in other parts of Southeast Georgia and the Low Country.
With working with the promoters has given us the ability to restrict the event and to set controls on the event. And that's what makes it safe for the people that live here and the people that
Hey, something about that beach,
and
man.
The city of Tybee Island.
You ain't gonna find you saw that whole gaggle of sun folk, right?
Yeah.
On any other day, you won't see that many, bro.
Wow.
On any other day, you won't see that many. Like me and my wife and kids go to the beach, man. It's us 6, and then like 3 or 4, like under a fucking umbrella down, down the beach somewhere else. You don't see that. So they come from Jacksonville, North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta. They just come down here and fuck the city up.
Is also expecting more than Orange Crush attendees to come to the island this weekend. They're expecting people to come on Sunday just to celebrate Easter near the water, but also those families who are wrapping up spring break. Now, Frank, in our next half-hour news, I'm going to break down some safety precautions happening here on the island. As you see these barricades right here, they're going to put these out into the street to really create some traffic flow to create a safe weekend here on the island. For now, reporting on Tybee, I'm Kyra Naveau, WJCL 22 News.
And staying on the subject of traffic.
Wow.
When YouTube was less edited, I should say, when people just put those random videos up, I used to see videos of, they would call it like Black Bike Week and Black Beach Week. It was always for spring break.
I couldn't hear you. I didn't hear what you said. You were breaking up.
No, I was saying that when YouTube was less kind of edited and curated and people would just put those long videos up, I would always see videos of Black Bike Week and Black Beach Week, but they were always for spring break.
Oh, that still happens at Myrtle Beach.
Yes, that
North
was
Carolina.
Myrtle Beach, yep.
Yeah.
A man in his 70s is talking only to Action News about a terrifying attack. He was brutally assaulted by a suspect moments after he got off of a train in Tacony. His attacker remains at large. Action News reporter Leland Pinder, live from Philadelphia Police Headquarters with the story. Leland.
Why are you talking like that?
Yeah, Rick, this man in his 70s says this was unprovoked. He has no idea why he was attacked, but he is at home. He's out of the hospital now. He didn't want to be identified, but he did want to share his story. This picture shows bruising and swelling under the man's eye. Wounds are healing, but signs of the attack remain, like this injury to his hand after being knocked to the ground. I don't know him. The Vietnamese man in his mid-70s says the unprovoked attack happened here on Disney.
Vietnamese man, okay, so we know who did that.
Was this in Philly?
Yeah, we know who did that. Vietnamese man
That's
attacked
sad. Whooping on the elderly.
Dead giveaway.
Yeah, they love fucking up elderly Asians.
Easton Street in Tacony as he was walking home. It was last Wednesday in broad daylight around 3 p.m. The man got off the train here at the Tacony station and was walking under this overpass when someone came from behind him with a rock and hit him in the face.
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah, I really surprised. I thought that.
Damn, hit him in the face with a rock. They was trying to kill him. He's 70 years old. He can't take that type of shit.
Straight up caveman style.
Damn.
Neanderthal.
Cain and Abel.
Could you imagine? Like, I mean, like, look what they just do, man. Like, that shit is unconscionable, man.
That's that Congo activity.
Yeah, I thought that way. I say, help me. Police say he was also hit multiple times with a closed fist. The man reported his attacker had also been on the train and ran after the beating. The victim says thankfully a witness lent a hand getting him to his feet, calling police and waiting until they arrived. He don't have me, man. Maybe I die. The man says he's not angry at the person who attacked him, just thankful for the stranger who helped. I say, I thank you. The young guy hit me. And police say that man wasn't robbed of any personal belongings, but the person who did this is still out there. If you have any information, give detectives a call. Live from outside police headquarters, Leland.
He didn't even take anything from him. There was no argument or words between them.
Yeah,
he just did that out of random.
That's mental illness right there. I've seen that so many times.
I don't believe in mental illness for sons. Tell him.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, this wasn't that wasn't son, because I ran into something like that before. Well, we found a dude. It was a white dude that, you know what I'm saying, that jumped on it was an Asian guy here that was homeless. And no, he was riding a bus, and there was a homeless dude riding the bus. Homeless dude, white dude, ran up and just cold cocked him and beat the fuck out of him. And that motherfucker was off his rocker. So I don't think this was son activity right here. I don't think so. Because the son would have took something off of him. It didn't matter what it was, a hat, a wallet, his flip-flops. It would have took something off of him.
Now, was the white guy who did it, was the glider who did it, was he on drugs or?
No, he was mentally ill. He was schizophrenic and bipolar.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'll definitely do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't they all zombified by that station?
No. That's Pantheon. That's a couple blocks away from where I live, actually. You know what I mean? It's in my neighborhood. Not around there. It's further down in Kensington. That's where they are zombified.
Kensington, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's further down.
Someone in the chat
dude
said
sounds so
the Jacob
cute.
Crouch story. I don't know. I haven't heard of it.
Shout out to Manos, man. Shout out to Underwear Under There. Says it's been a long time. My other account cannot chat on the channel. YouTube does not allow it. Wow. That's crazy. You gotta use the lexicon, man. Don't use the occultation words, man. Don't use the regular words, man. YouTube not playing with the comments. Okay, me, but wow, like the crime is unconscionable. That niggas do unconscionable things, man. These things are like it's almost to the point, man, where when you go through Twitter, I can see why white people upset with black people half the time. And when you just go through Twitter, just a regular Twitter, just go through your regular Twitter feed and see the shit that niggas is doing. Look at this. This is the day in Dallas. Now motherfuckers mad about this. Niggas is mad about this. It's another BLM shit right here. Look at this.
Somebody take this. I didn't do nothing. My name is Michael Singleton. You have warrants. My name is, I got a traffic warrant. My name is Michael Singleton.
You have warrants.
Still a warrant.
This motherfucker's an adult toddler, man.
That's still a warrant. He said I got a traffic warrant. That's still in the warrant.
Stupid.
I got a traffic warrant.
He's lying.
I want you to please take it. They arrested me for wrong reasons.
Got him.
No, why would y'all do that? He was standing still.
Shut up, bitch.
You play that again, Ak?
Somebody take this.
Also, that looks like an apple.
My name is Michael Singleton. You have warrants. I got a traffic warrant. My name is Michael Singleton. I want you to please take it. They arrested me for wrong reasons.
Yeah.
No, why would y'all do that? He was standing still.
Ride the lightning, baby.
Somebody take this.
So niggas is upset about this. I saw this earlier.
He was not standing still.
He didn't
was
have a
about to
gun
do
on him. or
something.
anything.
No, they just they gave him a little shock therapy.
Yeah,
Got
he
him
all
right.
right.
It
Shit,
sounded
like he
like
got
a gun.
shot.
Not a taser.
They just hit that reset button on him. That was it.
And the same.
I want to see the comments
same
after the
girl
first. I want to see the
upset he would
replies
probably
after the
pistol
first
whip
comment,
her.
Ag. From Fooly something. If you scroll up. Yeah, that one. Oh, yeah, the taser one. I just want to see. I just want to see what people are replying to him.
So it was a taser. This is what the police should have been doing instead of killing people. See how easy it is to not reach for a gun when you have a Batman utility belt full of non-lethal weapons?
That taser,
Is that
I'm
true?
gonna tell you something about that taser. That taser don't work 100% of the
Right.
time.
It
No.
showed. What's the
don't.
guy that got shot 9 times?
No, it doesn't. Because sometimes
Leave the goalposts. So it's
Sometimes
don't shoot them, taste them. Now it's but why
it
were
doesn't
you
catch
arresting
on the
them?
skin. It doesn't connect. And also sometimes they could be on drugs and they won't feel the effects of it, right?
Yeah, man.
It can only last 5 seconds.
Because like the last time I used my taser, man, like this dude threw a fucking brick at me. I shot him with my taser, and that shit, he just looked at that shit. So I had to grab his ass and fucking body slam him and shit because the fucking taser didn't work. So yeah, that taser don't work all
After
the fucking
5
time, man.
seconds, you get hit with a taser, you lock up, and then you get right back up like you never got shot.
That shit take the wind out you.
It does take a little bit to recover from it.
Just like old buddy said, if you're on drugs or something, you'll get right back up. But like if you sober and I hit you with it, you gonna lay there for a little bit to catch your breath.
But sometimes, Pharaoh, I will say this. Sometimes like if you're wearing thick clothing or like if it doesn't connect to their skin, like, it won't work anyway.
Oh, this motherfucker I hit with it had no shirt on.
Yeah.
I was standing like 4 feet away from him, lit his ass up, and it was like he just looked at me and charged. I was like, okay, body slam, motherfucker, let's get it.
Yeah.
This one right here says, "There's no sound, but I think the black chicks wanted the Asian girl's hair for a wig. The Asian girl refused, so they attacked." Well, they are rubbing their hands through her hair. They are running their hand through her hair. I feel sorry for sisters, man. They don't appreciate that their hair is unique. The uniqueness of their hair.
Y'all men don't like.
Yeah, no doubt. We're responsible to it.
Don't wear our hair like if black men love afros and that,
That's true.
still wear afros.
Oh shit,
Nah,
an
you
afro
right.
is a turn on for me. An
But
afro is some
y'all
long.
don't like it. Y'all love the long.
Nah, you right.
Don't come around
The
with that
men
long
we the
silky shit.
men
I'm
we
gonna laugh at
want, the men that we want, like
Yeah.
the long
you.
hair, the curly
Yeah.
hair.
That long silky shit
No.
get you laughed at in my face. I'm telling you. Don't come around
But
me with that. You trying to be too
but
cute. Get
he
on somewhere.
married and I am too, so it doesn't even matter. But if we were single, the we yeah black men.
If we were single, I say,
Y'all
hey,
act like y'all love that.
why you not rocking your fro?
Y'all don't like it.
I never heard nobody say that. I never heard no
Shit.
nigga say
Hey,
why you ain't rocking your
I'm
fruit.
the first one
Thank you.
then, bruh. I'm the
I
first
know, I
one.
know the
I've been in love with fro since Shaka
Israelites say
Khan.
that. The ones who are like good tidings, sister queen.
And then it's
Yeah,
the
but
type of natural hair, like it's like if your hair like the pretty coils, natural, then yeah, you can get away with that. But just that
you
kinky afro,
biracial, yeah.
You better
yeah,
rock
You
that
yeah,
fro.
they like that type of natural hair.
Either rock some fro or get some locks. It's one of the two. I don't do the long silk press shit. That shit look goofy to me.
You don't like
I
horsehair?
mean,
Huh?
You don't like horsehair?
That's what
I
the
don't
black
like that.
men
No,
I
my
like.
don't
wife
think
don't
it's
wear.
supposed. I mean, when you straighten afro hair, it does
All
get super
my
silky.
daughters got locks. Don't nobody in my house wear weave. That shit is played out in my house. We look at that. We look at you wearing the weave as goofy.
And
My
I
yeah, no,
girls
I
will
guarantee
agree.
you,
my
I
girls
I
will
guarantee
agree.
laugh
they
at
do
you.
not care. Girls do not care.
My girls,
I like locks. I like
my wife
locks.
and daughters will laugh at you.
I
Locks
think
are pretty,
more
but
yeah.
I wear weaves, I wear wigs, I wear all this stuff.
Mm-mm.
And
Yeah.
I have nice hair. My hair is
Mm.
natural.
You gotta wear your real hair around me. I'm gonna look at you funny.
I wear my hair how I want to wear my hair. I'm grown. I wear my hair
Yeah, you can
how I
be
want to,
grown, but I'm still
and
look
I
at you funny.
don't.
I think you're
This
trying to be somebody else.
natural hair is too much work.
No, it ain't.
It's a
Yes,
lot
it
of.
is.
It is a lot of
It's
work.
a
I would.
lot of work to wear natural hair. Our hair is for
It afro hair
a
under
dry
no
African type
If you don't throw
circumstances
some
environment.
is
moisturizer and get a
a
hair
go.
pick and pick that thing out, girl, stop playing around.
You gonna
Afro
be
hair under no
bald headed picking it out
circumstances.
all every day.
No, you are. Look, moisturize, rubber bands, a bonnet, a silk scarf. Check that thing out in the morning, walk out the door. Black girl magic, right?
And then come back and your hair is the afro.
Hey, but guess
Frizzy.
what? You strut it though.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. See,
None of my own wear that.
Yeah, I do think like I just think it's odd that men are so like obsessed with women's hair. It
Next
is a
thing
bit
you know,
weird.
white people be like, having a bad hair day.
they don't
Men
get
are
it.
obsessed with women. Men are obsessed with women's hair. You don't see why that is. Men like women. It's like normal. I think that's
Yeah,
normal.
for real.
What's this?
Y'all leave Chun-Li alone.
Terrible.
One of them looks like an Obrita. Still beating her. Well, that's in black.
And years later, that worked for Chun-Li and her Chinese restaurant.
Doge
They don't
that there
have
was
niggas.
money that
They don't have
Nah,
niggas
they
in
work
the.
at a
I
beauty
never
supply
seen.
store. That's about it.
Yeah, they don't
I
work. Yeah,
ain't
you're
never
right.
seen a nigga. I never seen a nigga working in a Chinese restaurant
You're
ever in
right.
my
You're
life.
right. You can see
Or
some
that I
Mexicans
just.
working in a Chinese restaurant though.
Oh really? I didn't
Yeah,
ever see that.
yeah. You see some.
That's
You
I
see
crazy.
never
them.
seen Mexicans at a
I seen
Chinese
them
restaurant.
burritos in a Chinese restaurant working in the back,
Oh
cooking
Oh
up,
Never
yeah,
wow.
seen that before.
cooking up.
Korean.
all Asian restaurants.
when it comes to this kind of stuff, like we already know now because of Doge that there was money that was going with no receipts, billions and billions of dollars that was just flying out with no receipts. They have no idea where it went. And Elon openly said, if this was a public company, it would be delisted and the people who ran it would go to prison. But because it's the government, you're like, oh, no, what we did, we just they have no
Do you
receipts.
think
That could be going to it.
you think they'll bring charges against anyone for fraud?
That's the worry about disclosure.
because
And
that's
I think that's what's holding it back.
I think people needs concrete stuff.
When it comes to this kind of stuff, like we are.
The Democrats would have been fucking had congressional hearings on the Republicans. Don't do like the Democrats. They don't indict people. They don't investigate people. They don't bring people in front of Congress. They don't. The Democrats harass the fuck out you, man. When you in office, they harass your ass. I mean, when they're in office, when they're in power, they harass the shit out of any Republican that ever did anything.
Republicans are a bunch of cucks. That's why.
Yeah. Oh man. He said the original Chinese people were certainly dark skinned.
Come on, man. Black people trying to put themselves everywhere.
太简单了，这是可以吧？挺好吧？哎呀，这我大爷啊，告诉你特别好钓鱼。
今儿真拿风钓鱼的吗？
就因为钓鱼玩这么扯的，
火了。
聊这么多了。
He cursed.
You the original Chinese people, man.
That man cursed.
That's my nigga right there.
The worst
I
thing
can't
y'all
stand
can do,
him. He's
this
stupid.
was not a racial killing. So why are the adults coming in playing a race
Pretty
game?
annoying.
The worst thing y'all can do
He
is play
talked
a
too
race
much
game.
about
in
children.
this red
He a
county,
weirdo.
nigga. That black judge, they already working to get her out of there. She will not be a judge in Collin County anymore. And if you from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you know them people don't play out there, nigga. They from out of town. These are outsiders. They will make an example out of that black kid, and black people will get him hung playing a race card. How dumb can you be? This is the time we supposed to say, let's come together. Why can't we all get along? This is that time so we can have his life spurred. They gonna hang that boy. He deserved to go to prison. If you take a life, you ain't supposed to be able to walk away with no consequences. It's consequences to your actions, right or wrong. Even if you justified to take a life, your life wasn't in danger. Karmelo was wrong, dead wrong. In the witness accounts of what he said, he grabbed the book bag. Let me tell black people how dumb y'all is. Don't you know they got a police report with the evidence of a knife and not a cleat sharpener? There's no such thing as a cleat sharpener. They have evidence, a police report where they confiscated a knife. How dumb can y'all be? And black people, y'all don't have no compassion for a parent who have to bury their child.
That's true.
Y'all haven't extended no level of empathy for another dead kid. Black people, I hate that this kid will be sacrificed, but he's not from here, so I don't give a fuck about it. Fuck him. His daddy is weak nigga to me. Nigga, y'all out here in this $900,000 house rent.
I feel for the young brother.
These people say y'all got 4 or 5 registered failed businesses, and man, they finna make a mockery out of y'all. But your daddy, nigga, the daddy ain't got nothing to say, and his boy dead. You let the bitch do, nigga, you weak, nigga. That's why the boy weak. You weak, that's why the boy weak. And the mama weak, cause nigga, she doing all this goddamn talking, but he left out of your house with a knife. With a knife. Stay at home, mom. And nobody cares about your daughter can't sleep because y'all getting death threats. Your son killed somebody. That boy brother can't sleep from holding his brother dying. You think people, y'all are not the victims. Karmelo Anthony, you and your renting family, y'all are not homeowners in a town full of homeowners. Y'all are renters. You're not even from here. And you done brought people that's not from here to cause trouble and try to divide us from our good blacks. You're gonna pay, Anthony family.
What's this guy's name?
They're gonna hang you.
Dawson
Boys
White.
gonna suffer. See, right now,
Thank you.
y'all don't know. The dad's a convicted felon. They're gonna, man, this kid is gonna pay as he should. Because they got all these dumbass black people playing a race card in a racist town. And I wouldn't call them racist. They just don't like your kind. And neither do I. I hate a victim-minded black person. I hate a black person that doesn't take accountability. I hate a criminal-minded black person. I hate a nigga that let his wife do all the speaking. So I surely don't like that father. He let his bitch do all the talking, hollering and screaming with all those emotions like the black woman have. Oh, man, that's a strike against the culture.
Ooh. Man, that dude, hey, you can't.
This was not a racial killing.
Ooh. He ain't speak not one lie in that shit, man. That's why I listen to him, man. A lot of shit he do go overboard, man, but sometimes I be like, yo, nigga, keep going.
Yeah, he was right there what he said.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering, like, why the mama doing all the talking?
Like this black teen, he was sentenced to 70 years in prison.
Damn.
They said that he
What'd he
defended
do?
himself in a Walmart. He said he defended him. He was defending himself in a Walmart. I don't know. I gotta see if they got the case in the chat. Yeah.
Of course, they got him in his graduation photo.
It says
Yeah, there are so few photos of them in suits and, if you want to say, dressed properly.
Trying to present him upstanding.
In a tragic event at a Fayetteville, Georgia Walmart on March 29th, 2024, 19-year-old Antavius Holton was fatally shot and a 9-year-old girl sustained injuries. The assailant, 19-year-old Walmart employee Adrian Jelks, confronted Holton at the store's entrance.
I remember this.
Firing 19 rounds from a fully automatic 9mm pistol, striking Holton twice in the back and inadvertently wounding the child. So he must have seen the op, or the dude must have said, "I'm gonna come up there and do something to you." So he did the self-defense, and he got 70 years.
So they take weapons to track meets and Walmart, their place of work.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, this America, yeah.
I'll take weapons to Walmart. I'll go, man, look.
Yeah, everybody has
He's
a weapon at
working at
Walmart.
Walmart.
Yeah, but as the employee, it's slightly
That's
different.
still normal.
On the sales floor, that's crazy. I don't think that's normal. You're on the
There's
sales
no
floor.
way Walmart is okay with that.
Yeah, I think it's fully automatic too. It's a federal offense, but I don't give a fuck about that. Man, them Glock switches, bro. That shit's tearing up the streets.
He must have had some other charges on him to get 70 years.
No, it was hitting a child, murder, and then shooting up a public area and putting other people in danger. So they got him with those two. Because that's how Georgia worked. They'll put it, if you do one thing in one place and there's other people around, they're gonna hit you with other stuff too. There's reckless endangerment and all that stuff.
70 years, and it's just another case, and nobody gives a fuck about it.
Nope.
This Karmelo Anthony case, everybody cares about it. They're gonna be upset. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, because people can relate to it because it happened in the school.
I mean,
and people children go to schools. That's why.
But see, like when that happened, man, it was a couple of days before it even got traction, man. Because ain't nobody really cared. Because it was two kids. It was two kids that did that shit, man. And the next thing you know, like somebody made the statement saying if this was the other way when nobody say nothing, then next thing you know, black folks are like, oh, this KKK member got stabbed by a Black Panther member. You know how they go. You know how far they go with that shit. Just dumb shit. So they, black folks know how to turn it up to 10.
This is ridiculous. She's in her pajamas.
She's still in?
Girl,
She don't got no shoes on her feet either.
No, she has slippers, slides.
Oh, she taking it.
Oh, Porsche pirate.
She want to steal my food.
I wonder if it was fried chicken.
It's fake.
No, that ain't fake.
It's not fake.
That is not fake. Because all she got to do is say delivered and walk away with it.
Like, I do have to ask, because we've seen enough videos. Do Americans, do you guys not follow your orders?
What do you mean? Oh, while it's coming to you?
Yeah, I mean, if the food is saying it's 2 minutes away, my door is, or like, I don't order food anyway. But if it's an Amazon or something, I am monitoring. I'm curtain twitching. And by the time they ring the bell, I've already opened and buzzed them in.
Wow.
Depends
So
on
especially with food, and you have too many people opening your packages and food.
Yeah.
I know I do. I try to track them as much as I can to track them, onto my so I can be there when it gets there. But sometimes you don't, and I guess that's when they get you, man. Let's see. Oh wow! Look at this white guy. They're doxing this white guy. He said, "You're lucky we weren't home to shoot your dumb ass, your ass dumb bitch." So I mean, this little girl like came to their door or whatever.
Is it
And
the doorbell game where you ring it and run away?
oh, okay, and he said this, and then they got him fired and shit. They
Oh
just got
well.
fired from his job.
Yeah, I think you covered this already.
And he said, "I want to apologize for the post I made on here."
Fuck him.
Were you mad at that white guy?
Yep, fuck
What
him.
are your emotions? Okay, well, what are your emotions about? Why are you mad with the white guy?
Cause I just feel like being mad at a white guy right now.
Oh, okay.
That's racist.
Okay. He said.
Do you get that feeling often, Brown Sugar?
Spoken like a true hood sister.
He said, "I want to apologize for the post I made on here. It was not how it should have been handled at all. I have a wife and kid at home, and will always protect as you would too. When you see someone at the door and others around the house and the windows, you instantly think the worst. As it was to me, she was being a decoy while others were around the house trying to look in or get in. I was hot and posted something way out of line.
He was
I
hot,
instantly
guys.
regretted it and deleted it, as there are tons of better ways to handle it. This was not the right way. If anyone knows the parents, I would like to speak to them and apologize." Oh God,
So
yo,
this is my issue, because obviously we haven't seen video, but we're trying to draw context. But why is he should have doubled down? Like, I'm sorry to the parents of the girl. You should teach your girl not to go up to random strangers' houses by herself
Yeah.
or within a group. And I'm not going to apologize. You need to teach your child better. But he's now saying, I want to talk to the parents and apologize for something the girl and her friends may have initially done.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah,
False
he
maneuver.
needed to double down and say, "Did I stutter? I said what I said."
Yeah, he straight cucked it. He cucked
But
it
at
up.
this point, he probably lost his job already. So like he's probably
Yeah.
just clinging to scraps.
Oh, I really want to see the video now.
And that black girl.
They tried to blow it up on TikTok, man. It didn't go too far.
What were they doing? I didn't.
No,
the
because
black girl.
I saw a couple people talking about it, and then like it was like 2 or 3 posts, and then like nothing else after that. They tried to blow it up on TikTok. It didn't go too far.
So this person says, "Yeah, we always know the apologies are fake. Even in his apology, he lied and said other people were around his house looking in windows. It's great he is losing his job." This one says, "He was disingenuous in his apology. He backtracked due to fear of legal ramifications." What legal ramification could it be for saying that? Yo, black people say the craziest stuff on social media and never get held accountable for it.
Never.
This white guy lost his job and he can face legal ramifications for saying that. He has the right to say that. That's freedom of speech.
That's a problem. Like most states have at-will employment, so they can just fire you for any reason.
No, no. But here's the thing. That aside, right? That aside, black people say they never get at will. No one ever at wills black people. No black person I know, and I know black people that talk crazy shit on Twitter. I'm talking
Because
about
they have certain legal protections as a group. They're minority groups. They're protected. White males aren't.
They got the complexion for the protection.
No, but
There
they're
we
not
go.
protected by law. They're not protected by law. They're protected because people don't enforce the law on them. And not black people aren't protected by the law. There's
No,
no
in
law that
terms of
says as a
employment, they're
black
not.
person. No, there's no law that says, hey, black people, you can talk shit on Twitter and say the most egregious things on Twitter. You know, threaten people and talk about killing people and nothing happens to you. It's just that nobody ever does anything to them.
That's why we call
It's
it
not
privilege.
no, but he said that there's a law that protects black people from that. There's no law that protects them from that.
They could pull the race card, go to EEOC saying, "Oh, we got fired for posts like for like all that other stuff." Like what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. They do have that privilege, and that's one of their privileges.
I
Like
think what it is I think what it is this guy in his community. There's a standard. There's a code. Like, hey man, certain behaviors, man, we don't accept, man. We're you know what I mean. In the black community, there's no behavior that's not accepted. You know what I mean? Like the same women that are mad are listening to Little Sexy Red in front of their children. Are listening to Kodak Black in front of their children.
Facts.
The same women that are mad about what this white guy said, they hold him to a higher standard. Black people hold white people to a higher standard. Her baby daddy, all these bitches, these black whores in the comment section, baby daddies probably got fucking been to prison for violent crimes.
And this guy is evil.
Right, you know what I'm saying, for a tweet that he took down. And they're jumping on him and they want him to lose his job even after he apologized.
that's what I'm saying. Gliders need to have protection from losing their jobs. Like you know what I mean? Like they should have it's constitutionally
Nah, that
protected.
was just stupid to post. I mean, if you
We're
know,
so far
if y'all
past that
know,
point.
if y'all white people know how it is, why would you post it on Twitter?
Yeah, that wasn't too smart to
That
post.
was stupid. Period. That was stupid.
I got you. No, I agree that it's
If
stupid,
you
but
know that, if you white people know that y'all get a tag or whatever, why would you make that post and then post a picture of a little black kid on there?
But it
And you
seems
white.
like it's
That's
their
stupid. You
own.
asking to get attacked and doxxed.
But it seems like it's a residential group, like Facebook group.
Like a neighborhood group.
Yeah, the South Fork community in Riverview. So it seems like he posted it. It's like, oh, look at who came to our door. But if they're saying that she was selling sweets, I don't know if that's a person or a plant in the background. But as a parent, you'd be closer to the door just in case there's animosity on the door cam. And then you'll say, no, we're just Girl Scouts, whatever, selling sweets or cookies. There has to be that protection for your child whilst they're going up to random doors as well.
He would have did better just posting what he just said in the apology, saying what happened. Instead of saying that, he should just said these kids at my door harassing me, whatever, and left it at that.
The hell going on here?
Shootout, wild shootout. He still gets to say that though. I think he still gets to say that. I think he still gets to say whatever he wants to say. I mean,
nobody should get fired for saying things.
That's what I'm saying. They should be protected from that. You know what I mean? Like people should be able to sue their job saying I have constitutionally protected speech, but that's what I'm saying. Most states have at-will employment, so they could fire you for any reason. But it only happens to gliders because if it were to happen to sons, they would be more likely to sue.
Some people actually do get fired from but I know but
but
I'm not gonna go into y'all argument, but some people get fired for saying things that they had no business saying on the internet.
I never heard of one.
I've seen some instances like that.
Yeah, they do.
They get
You're
on
not
TikTok,
gonna hear
they
about
talking
them.
all crazy, and they get circulated around back to the boss.
Yeah,
Hey,
you're not gonna hear about them, but they get fired.
You know, I mean, I do remember one. That lady from Princeton. She said something to Vlad about like he can't talk about hip hop or some shit, and then he called the school, and she got like demoted or something like that.
We're done. White people are. You want to say you're tired from fucking what? We're tired. Black people say, we're tired. From what? You're tired of what? Tired of what? DEI? You're tired of what? Having the standards lowered for you everywhere? Tired of what? People walking around on eggshells not to offend you? Tired of what exactly? What are you tired of? What are you so tired of all the time? We're tired. We white people are tired. We're tired of hearing about it. It's 2025. This is America. Get a fucking job. Dress yourself and then put some fucking shoes on. Stop with the slides, sweatpants. Put some shoes on. Put some pants on. Get a job. Speak English properly. Be respectful. Be considerate. Salute the fucking flag. And shut up. Gosh. I've had enough of it. But no one wants to say this. Everyone's thinking it, but no one wants to say it because everyone's afraid. Everyone's afraid because they know if you say it in real life, you're going to get shot. And they say, oh, say that to a black person. Why? Because they're going to shoot me? No, thanks. Yeah, I'm good. Same reason I don't go into the lion's den in the zoo. I'm not about to get eaten. So they say, oh, you wouldn't say that in real life. Yeah, because you can't handle it. Because you're maniacs and you admit it. And the other reason people don't want to say it because they don't want to be the bad guy because it's in poor taste. They don't want to get fired. They don't want to get name called. I don't give a shit. Needs to be said.
Salute to Nick Fuentes.
We're done. White people are. You want to say you're tired?
The track star took Austin Metcalf's life with a knife through the tent. Austin's.
Wow. Wow. What the fuck?
Some wild shit.
Oh, is this good? Is this a new one? Is this a new rant from Myron? Is this a new rant? What was the old one? He said,
You ain't want to do that. People call me a racist all the time. Myron, you're a racist. You're not even black. You're not one of us. You're Sudanese, right? You ain't one of us. You don't understand our struggle, all this bullshit. Here's the thing. I actually do, okay? Because if we want to go ahead and play the fucking victim card, you want to know who can play the victim card better than all you motherfuckers? I can. Because not only am I black, despite what the fucking idiotic FBA's got to say, I'm also an Arab Muslim. And last time I checked, after 9/11, that's not a good combination to have. I've been profiled at airports. I've been profiled in stores. People think I'm going to steal. And they also think that I'm going to bomb the place. Okay? So if we want to talk about being a black man in America, times that by 5 when it comes to what I've been through. However, I don't go on the internet and fucking bitch about my circumstances. And quite frankly, I could bitch more than any of these fucking black people because I get it from both sides. You guys think the cops pull me over and be like, are you a foundationally black American? Like, no. They just see skin color brown. Oh, he's a nigga. All right. Lock him up. Right? When I'm going through TSA, they see my unique ass name. Amber Photo. What the fuck? Hey, nigga, you got to go over. We're going to search you. Right? So, trust me, when it comes to bigotry and racism, etc., I've experienced all of it, okay? I can sit here on a fucking soapbox and cry about it all fucking day. But I don't. You want to know why? Because that's what everyone does. Everyone wants to be a victim. Everyone wants to feel fucking sorry for themselves. And they all want to go ahead and get people to give them preferential treatment. I refuse to do that shit. I refuse. Because my thing is this. Kevin Samuels famously said, the world doesn't owe you understanding, and I've always kept that in my mind, and it's very true. The world does not owe you understanding. All they know is pattern recognition and stereotypes. And stereotypes, a lot of the times, are attributed to things that tend to be true. There's negative stereotypes out there about Muslims and blacks, and I happen to fall under both of them. So I'm not going to sit here and cry about my circumstances like, hey, you need to give me the benefit of the doubt. Ah, stop profiling me. It's always going to happen. People are always going to profile you. It doesn't matter. Your job is to prove them wrong. Your job is to come in, speak in an articulate manner, not be a piece of shit. Be successful. Let your reputation precede you so they don't see skin color in them anymore. They see an individual. Okay? This is America. This is what you got to deal with when it comes to multiculturalism. Multiculturalism is going to lead to inherent racism, bigotry, or whatever it is. It is what it is. So instead of me crying about it, it's like, I'm a black man in America. This sucks. Ah. No. I say, I'm Emerald fucking Fuddle, a.k.a. Myron Gaines. You guys know me for me, and you don't know me for my background. My race does not define me. My background doesn't define me. Okay?
I get what he's saying.
Black folk don't want to hear that shit though.
Hell no, they don't want to tell.
But
Oh,
if you actually got a real true racist that's like a supervisor or manager, and like you said, if it's an at will state, they could still like jeopardize you. Yeah, jeopardize your job.
Depending on the job, there's different ways around that. You can definitely move around the motherfucker like that though. Because
Like, can you
I worked under
imagine how
somebody
many
like
federal workers that was already getting fired, but like how many federal workers was like got fired through racism or sexism or homophobic? Like, there was just a way to get rid of people through hatred, whether they was white or black or whatever.
There's ways around it.
Mm.
Definitely ways around it. Black people just got to take the blinders off their eyes and look for their way around it. It's there, like depending on the job, it's there. I seen it firsthand where motherfucker was like he was doing shit because he ain't like him. All right, cool. Next thing you know, he working in the basement and the dude get a promotion. So it's ways around it.
And sometimes
What you guys talking about? Sorry, I kind of tuned out. Pharaoh.
Yo.
What do you mean the ways around what? I kind of tuned out.
Raise around motherfucker being racist towards you at the workplace. If you think they're being racist or if they're being racist, and they try to fire you or try to get you in some kind of trouble, there's ways around getting out of that shit. And all you gotta do is prove it.
Yeah, they can do it in subtle ways.
Because believe it or not, that person has a track record, and everybody is scared that because they'll just go to a supervisor. They don't know to go to the person above or make a complaint here, make a complaint there. All you gotta do is keep a fucking paper trail, put it on paper, and keep moving. That's the way. Like, that's why I tell people, man. Like, if you want to get a motherfucker for doing something wrong to you, and they keep doing it over and over, make sure there's a paper trail, man. Make a paper trail.
That's what I'm saying. Like, document shit, get witnesses, go to HR.
Yeah.
So they say HR works for the company. This is not me charging. But you got to make them your friend, like, you know what I mean, with the paper trail, right?
So what now?
Like, they say HR only protects the company, not the workers, but you got to make them work for you with the paper trail and documentation, right?
Yeah, don't protect the company. If that person's giving the company a bad name, of course they're gonna do something with it.
Yeah, and I always file your EEOC complaint, no matter what.
Always.
No matter what, white, black, it don't matter what you is, file it. Even if you're a white man and it's another white man, or a black man, it's another, just file it.
Or you can go to OSHA. You can go to all kinds of different places. Labor board, if you're in a union, like, try to get as many of those, file as many complaints as you can. Yeah.
Let me move along.
Listen, this is not me charging you up and getting you angry to go and be violent. I absolutely abhor violence, and I'm a Christian. And the Bible says, eye for an eye. That's not what we're about. We're about turn the other cheek. And I believe in that sincerely. So this is not a call for racial vengeance. It's not a call for a cycle of racial violence. I'm not saying that in the slightest. I don't condone that. I don't think it's funny. I don't approve of it. I have zero tolerance for that. Absolutely not. But what I am in favor of is honesty. I'm not in favor of brutal violence like they are. I'm in favor of brutal honesty.
Dude.
I'm not going to stab you in the chest. I'm not going to cut your head off. I'm not going to shoot you in the face. But I am going to tell you brutally, honestly, what is going on here. And what white people need to do is we just need to get away from these people at this point in time. Get away while you can, you know? And they're going to complain, oh, you can't say that. I don't even hear you. I don't hear you. I'm not near you. I'm not listening. I'm not listening to you. If you weren't there speaking out against Trayvon Martin, if you weren't there speaking out against what has led us to this point, I don't want to hear you now when we decide to leave. So get away from we don't need to put up with this stuff. Get away. We don't want this. We don't want this. We don't need this. We're all racist. You hate us. Okay, well then good riddance. That's how I feel about it. And at this point, it's just irresponsible not to. You see what's happening to Chicago. You see what's happening to these other cities. It's mayhem. It is just mayhem, and there's no end in sight. They just keep electing the same mayors. New York, LA, Chicago, New Orleans, wherever you look, they just keep electing the same ignoramuses. They don't fix the crime. You know how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
When he says
So
they,
it's time
he's
to
talking about
just
white people
stop
because white people vote
and
more
get
than black
real.
people.
We
in
got to
them
start
cities.
looking out for each
I wish
this. Shout out to Dada Narikin, man. He said, just witnessed sons beefing and shots waiting on detectives. Shaking my head. So he just witnessed the son shooting. Shout out to Dada Narikin.
he really should have gave a shout out to Scott Adams because he's pretty much just repeating what he said.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, guys?
Hey, I'm good on my end.
Happy Easter. Been saying it all week.
I'm just starting my YouTube channel. Hey, just go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, man. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get 90. I'm trying to get 100 subscribers. I'm at 80 right now, I think.
What's your YouTube channel?
Pharaoh's Reactions.
Pharaoh's Reactions.
Salute.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah, man. I subscribe to your channel. Put the link in the description box.
I appreciate that.
Salute, man. Everybody. Yeah, I may come on earlier tonight and try to go to sleep later instead of trying to get a nap before I come on here.
Please do.
Yeah, it ain't been working. Yeah, salute. Same black time, same black channel. I'm out of here. Subscribe.
Salute.
Good night.